Time we talk stuff. It's Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Big press on Monday. Next is out Tuesday. Power plant day, bridge day. All that tough talk. Nice folding again. What a joke. He screams, Regime and drops bombs, making bold. And runs to the mic and says, maybe we fall. One day he's winning, next day he's scared. Every Tuesday, backpedaling hard. Break so we live in hell. Now you're begging for ceasefire. We can tell. Even team, sit your military in shame. But you still out here tweeting like it's a game. Tuesday, that's on Monday, then you check it out Tuesday. Power plant day, bridge day, all that tough talk. Nice folding again. What a joke. Go. Stay quick defense. Standing strong. Taco Tuesday again.
Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Yesterday was Taco Tuesday. La, 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 la. Taco Tuesday. Hey, what's up, Shot Pixie? What's up, Pop? What's poppin'? Oh my God, I got a notification. Did you? YouTube usually doesn't do that. Yeah, first time my notifications worked. Oh, that's good. Maybe I'm finally off of a ban. We'll see. Huzzah. How's everybody doing? Cranky Mullet, Shy Pixie, Salty, Frankie, little Scorpion Queen. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody good? Erbergo. Erberga. Erberger. Erberger. Let's play this. This is an Iranian music teacher's farewell to his school. I will translate. I will translate for you. Greetings. I am Hamizad. Wow, the subtitles are going very quick. Something the music teacher. Again, apologies. At this school that has been destroyed, my wish was for the last sound emanating from my school not to be the sound of conflict and war, but rather the sound of music in which there is no loss. Thank you, music. It's surreal, man. It's surreal what's going on. All led by a pedo creep in the White House that, is celebrating a huge victory after it negotiates for a trade route that was previously open to reopen. Who wins in this? Who wins besides the military industrial complex, the contractors, Donald Trump's betting friends, all his Polymarket and Kalashi friends? Who are the victors? For who do the spoils of this war go to? Certainly not the people, man. It's certainly not the people. Hamidreza, the music teacher, going to his bombed out school to play one final song It's so hauntingly real. Just think about any place you loved, anything you love, and to just have it all destroyed by a pedo who's just a mad tyrant. We're essentially living in the Game of Thrones that we didn't see with the Mad King, because that's what's going on. My heart goes out to all these people, his students, him. I mean, listen to how beautiful this is. I don't care who you are. You cannot say that this music is not absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to play this again. This is Iranian music teacher's farewell to his school. Oh, God. What the fuck are we doing, man?
شده
میخواستم آخرین صدایی که از آموزشگاه بیاد صدای شک و جنگ نباشه. آخرین صدای ساز باشه توش نواخت. مرسی.
Man. You can't hear the music? Hold on. What's up, Miguel? Can you hear it, Salty? At least you can hear more popping off in the background. I'll play it again. My apologies. Maybe it's my internet. You know, you could help. You hit subscribe. I know most of you are. You hit subscribe. You hit the notification bell. Ceasefire. Yeah. Oh, there never was such a thing. Again, folks, if you listen to the American news, good God, man. Good God, man. It's poisonous. I put a link to the Guardian. Come on. I put a link to the Guardian's article. I've been reading Sky News. I'm trying to go outside the sphere of the immediate political influence of America, because if you don't know, America is compromised. To the rest of the world, America is compromised. We are heavily compromised by a dictator. Sorry, a Russian dictator. His name is Donald Jeffrey Epstein's best friend Trump. And he has basically bought out all the lamestream TV shows. He's bought out Joe Rogan. He's compromised Theo Vaughn. He's compromised he compromised even the grifting comedy world. But your internet's compromised, your websites like MySpace and Vine and Tumblr, those are all compromised. Everything is just compromised here in America. You can't get an honest fucking question, never mind an answer. You know what I mean? Like and I point this out every single day on my live stream. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're not even at the point where you can't. Usually, you hear people go, "Can't even get an honest answer out of these people." You can't even get an honest question out of this regime. An honest question. They don't even ask honest questions, and I'll point that out to you. I'll point that shit out to you every single day. So we have to rely through like an underground network of eyes and ears. It's like who's that eunuch in Game of Thrones where he's like, I have little birds, you know, to get better information. And still, I feel like we're living in goddamn North Korea. Americans are so propaganda. That's the funny thing about America. It's like we are North Korea. We just have the propaganda of we're free. You know, like we think we're the freest propagandized people. Like you see North Korea. Well, there's too many similarities. As you see North Koreans like all hail praising their supreme leader, but you see that in America too. Go drive through the South, right? It's a little less right now, but it still is happening. But the thing is here in America they believe like, oh, whatever we say is the truth. It's like there was no ceasefire. There was no ceasefire. Go look up Lebanon, man, and what Israel's doing uh to Lebanon. Oh my God, it's it's embarrassing the amount of propaganda that we're hit with full time. And just when you thought, you know, I know some people are like, just when I thought I could trust the government to believe what they say, no, you couldn't. Iran released the 10-point peace plan. Then again, if you've just read any of it, even the smallest little part of it, you're like, yeah, man. Nobody. I don't even read the American side because if you just know anything about Trump, you don't have to. It was probably egregious, fucking stupid stuff. Like, give us all your Bitcoin, um, give us your good belts with like a $4 million plan. You know what I mean? It's like stupid shit. He's like, I'm gonna donate all to my presidential library, probably. Um, so immediately, like when I heard Caesar, I was like, oh, let's see what Iran puts up. I'm more trusting of the Iranian government at this point. And it's not like they're to be trusted, but it's just like, yo, at this point, I know the evil of the lesser of two evils, the evil of two lessers. You know, I know what I'm dealing with in America. Let me see what these people are saying. And this kind of makes sense. I'm like, oh, this is what Iran released. The lifting of all primary and secondary sanctions on Iran, continued Iranian control of the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. military withdrawal an end to the attacks on Iran and its allies, okay. The release of frozen Iranian accents, UN Security Council resolution making any deal binding. Hold on, there's more. Let me go over my Sky News article. Um, uh, Withdraw forces, control the Strait of Hormuz, compensation for damages to Iran, removal of sanctions. Stop opening these. I just want to move them. Release of frozen Iranian assets, Iranian commitment to not build nuclear weapons. Hold on. Stop moving around. Acceptance of Iran's right to enrich, Iran's agreement to peace treaties with regional countries, ceasing hostilities against all resistance groups in region, provisions backed by U.S. resolution. That's the 10-point plan, according to Iranian media, presented by news.sky.com. Untrustworthy, but what billionaire can you trust? You know, the internet brought to you by billionaires. And don't worry, we're doing the ceasefire stuff now. I have billionaire news. I have millionaire and billionaire news for all you spit shoe shiners, all you maggots who are like, I love me a good millionaire. He's got a concept of a plan, and I implicitly trust him with my kids. We got some news for you. We'll get to that in a little bit. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's like Iran are the better people indeed. Good to see you, Sardion. Varys. Thank you, Frankie Berry. Varys, the spy master with the birds. Thank you. I could not remember his name. I could not remember his name. And if you know anything about what's going on, yeah, yeah, yeah. But let's face it, Israel's thirsty for blood. You know what I mean? Like they want to slurp that. They want to slurp that. Hold on, I want to just check something real quick. They want to slurp that, you know. They're just not content with anything. Don't forget this. I want to play this again for you. Because this is who we're run by here. This is like the psychos that are in charge here. Guys like this.
I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime. And if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't.
Thank you very much. I love you, sir. If you think anything coming out of the government's mouth at this point is by serious people, it's not. This is Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's criminal attorney, who's now the interim head of the DOJ. Rules and laws are off, folks. Because the last thing you want to hear from anyone in the government is, who gives a shit about the country? If this president, pooped in my mouth, I'd be like, hey, thank you, sir. I love you. I'll do whatever you'd like, sir. Like, these are not serious people. What you think of the last adult that you heard talk like this? The last grown man at their job who's talking about their boss like this.
The DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So
this is an adult. This is not a poorly aging toddler. This is not a poorly aging toddler speaking about his father. This is an adult man who, by all regards, your law degree should be taken away. You should never be able to practice again. You should probably be in prison at this point, just for your language. Like these should be charges of sycophancy. He's a sick sycophant. We should absolutely zip tie this dude, hog tie him, and throw him in prison for speaking like that. If he removed me and put me somewhere else, I would say, thank you, sir. I love you, sir. This is psychotic behavior, and this is what's going on in the White House. My Christ. My Christ. All right. So if you want to know how well things are going for the Trump regime, even Fox, listen, don't take my word for it. It's in a book. Take a look. It's Reading Rainbow. Just kidding. I know, MAGA. You're not gonna take a look in a book. It's terrifying. Books are woke, and you gotta burn them all, right? At night, you have your your loved one, if you have one. You check under your bed to make sure there's no scary books under there. This is Fox News talking about the 2-week pause.
I will say that the president demands we have not reached any of those objectives. I have full confidence that the president is going to find some way to make this happen.
Why? I would just ask the token black guy. I'm guessing his name's Token black guy on Fox News. What gives you the confidence that your president, not my president, Token? Why? Why do you have the confidence that he's gonna reach all of these cut all these deals, buddy? What in his long storied history of 80 years made you think this guy is a deal maker? You hear this, Chud?
We have not reached any of those objectives. I have full confidence that the president.
What is your full do you hear this? Everybody has to kiss the ring. It's so ridiculous because Donald Trump watches a lot of TV. But the fact that another grown man is like, I just have full confidence. We knew that he got the Strait of Hormuz closed because of his actions, so I have full confidence that now he can finagle his way out of this kerfuffle. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Dude, Fox News, that's another one. Fox News, all of you in prison. All of you. All of you. for your decimation and desecration of the American state.
Find some way to make this happen. He said that we want to dismantle all major nuclear facilities. That has not happened. The end of uranium enrichment on the soil, they're still enriching. The transfer of the enriched uranium stockpiles out of Iran, that hasn't happened. The acceptance of intrusive international inspections, they're still not willing to do that. And they have not suspended their ballistic missiles program. They're still firing them off to stop the production of the long range missiles. That's just a few of them on the president's proposal. The question is the president using this 2 weeks to give our soldiers a break, a rest, to see if we can get this ultimately done? We'll see.
Maybe he's using these 2 weeks to, you know, beef up the pockets of all his donors. Remember when the oil barons, he went and said, "You give me $1 billion and drill, baby, drill, baby." Well, he didn't mean drill into like fracking stuff. He meant like drill into our pockets and drain us of all our life force. I still don't understand how they allow this shit to go on TV without him saying what gave him the confidence. Like usually if you're confident in someone, right? Like Token says, you explain. You're like, well, I have confidence because clearly before, you know, like when he tore up the Obama Iranian nuclear deal, like he came back on track and dead. Or when he negotiated for tariffs and none of them went lower and he just threatened to win high. I don't know. I don't have any faith of not only this government, but especially that pedo in chief. But it's just funny how he's like, I have the ultimate confidence.
Object to that full confidence.
Full confidence. Sorry. Yeah, explain. Explain what gives you full confidence. Because if not, you know, your brain rot, your brain's rotting in your skull. Here is what's her name? KKK Leviat. Hold on. That's a bad picture of her. And we know that she had the White House and Google scrape the web for any bad photos of her. Find a good photo of her. Hold on. I don't want her to get upset. Just give me 1 second. I'll find a good photo of her. Give me 1 second. Wait, here's the good photo. This is the photo she wants everybody to see. She doesn't like when she's in news. She's very picky about her photos. If you didn't read the story, I talked about it last week. She took a bad photo and she had the White House scrape it and all of their Doge employees that can just sell your social security now. They all scrape the web, but we found a good photo that she does like. So when you think of KKK Carrie Levioso, I want you to think of this, you know, I want you to think of this. Her mother was a bullfrog. So before you make any judgments, okay, her mother was a bullfrog. So just think twice before you judge. Okay. This is KKK Levioso talking about the deals. Good insights from this dumb bitch.
The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It
Hold on. So if they're unserious, what are you guys?
was literally thrown in the garbage by
Hold on. Did you hear that? Again, I still don't get how these are adults, you know? Like if somebody, what is that? What is the Christmas elf thing where you can put your face on a Christmas elf? You know that? Does somebody know what that's called? Does somebody know what that's called? Where you do jib jab. You know, if somebody did a jib jab and instead of putting the faces of all these tyrants on elves, if they put the faces on all these tyrants on babies, if they like toddlerified the news, so they were all like toddlers, then this would make sense. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a bad reality kid show where they're like, you're not serious, man. You're so not serious. When our very serious guy got that peace plan, we just threw it in the garbage. What'd you think of that? We filmed it and we were like, haha, we're throwing this in the trash. Like, how do you, as a part bullfrog, I'm guessing, I don't know what she is, how do you say with a straight face, like, they're not serious people, but we are, and we were so upset we just chucked it in the trash. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking? The asylum has been taken over by the patients.
The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It was literally thrown in the garbage by President Trump and his negotiating team. Many outlets in this room have falsely reported on that plan as being acceptable to the United States, and that is false. With the president's deadline fast approaching and the United States military completely decimating Iran with each passing hour, the regime acknowledged reality to the negotiating team. They put forward a more reasonable and entirely different and condensed plan to the president and his team. President Trump and the team determined the new modified plan was a workable basis on which to negotiate and to align it with our own 15-point proposal. The Iranian
Don't you love that? When someone's being a very serious big girl at her big girl job, and she's like, they were so unserious, we took none of it serious. We just chucked it in the trash right in front of them, too. Should have seen their faces when we threw their 10-point peace plan proposal right in the trash. Woo! Hurt feelings everywhere. All right? Somebody yelled world star. Like, these fucking people are a joke, man. And if you don't think they're a joke and you don't think, like, if you think that, like, oh, no, my life matters, you know, they value me, they're trying to keep me safe. If that's what you're thinking, ooh, sister, I got news for you. I wish I could say you go, girl, but man, you a dummy. This is on CNBC. Again, not your friends, not your friends. None of the media is your friend. I enter to evidence example A.
Or process that? Is it a bigger upside risk or downside risk? This deadline that President Trump has set, 8 p.m., has threatened to destroy a civilization. How does an investor process that? Is it a bigger upside risk or downside risk?
You heard that, right? This is the market alert on CNBC saying, so the president has threatened to destroy an entire civilization. Do you think investors should buy now or should they wait and sell? You are a cattle commodity to them. They do not care. They play with billions for fun. They abide by no laws, no rules. They're global elites that do not give a fuck. And all this civilization eradication talk just means one bank account goes up a little, one goes down a little. Maybe we don't vacation in the Strait of Hormuz this summer. That's all it means to them. While you and I try to figure out how we pinch some pennies and fucking hopefully find a nickel on the ground to put one drop of gas in our car so we can go to our fourth job, these people are like, man, do you think the markets are really going to handle a whole civilization collapse? This is psychotic behavior. And if you stand for this and think that's America, number one, you don't know what America is, man. America isn't a fucking place. It's in our hearts. It's in our goddamn cockles of our hearts. And it's really just the spirit you have. You're haunted by it every day when you understand what Abe Lincoln said. Don't make me get out the Abe Lincoln quote. But these people are doing TV shows about buy now or wait until the civilization collapses. And you think your fucking 9 to 5 matters to these folks? These people don't give a shit if you can afford food, and they pay their newspaper to write an article about a secret to the rich is they skip a meal every day. They don't. In fact, why do you think there's a brunch? I'm pretty sure there was a brunch because fucking servants on Epstein Island were like, yo, they're doing this crazy thing called brunch. It's putting the first meal and the second meal together to have a meal in between. We got to leak this to the pores, you know? And I know they had brunch on Epstein Island because Howard Nutlick, that's Donald Trump's secretary of bullshit. I don't know. Because he doesn't have a real job. He just goes out there and laughs anytime Epstein is mentioned. But Howard Nutlick was caught lying and then saying, oh, I only lived next to Epstein and we decided to never see him again. And then the Epstein emails came out and Howard Nutlick was going, hey man, on the boat, what are the coordinates for my captain? We're going to stop by for brunch. Okay. So I know that they had brunch on Epstein Island, and I'm just assuming that once word got out, once some of the indentured servants that were, you know, probably chained to some fucking basement cellar on Epstein Island or that weird mosque. Maybe that's why Trump said praise be to Allah, because if you've seen the weird temple on Epstein Island, it's probably a mosque. You know, they were always praying to the fucking east or whatever. Or praying to the south for Balals. Balals. I think that's the god they worship name. But these motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers. And to back up my point, you might know him as Hassan the Hun. I know him as Hassanabi, who I think he's alive right now. We should check in with him. Hold on. I like Hassan. I do. He's a smart man. Let's see. Is he talking about stuff? You doing some talking, buddy? Oh, he is. He's doing the.
Like Sam Harris even cares so much about Israel. I mean, I don't know where his shit comes from, but
All right. We'll catch up with you later, buddy. How do I pause it?
I
How do I
like
pause
what
you? Thank you. Please. We'll get to you later. Here is Hassanabi. I think that means wise ancient one. I'm not sure. I just made that up. Talking about the political state of America.
there's a battle brewing. A battle brewing against not only the corrupt fascist forces of the Republican Party, but also against do-nothing Democrats that would rather sit there and collect paycheck after paycheck and fundraise from corporate donors that put your interests second to the interests of those very same corporations that poison your water as they sit idly by, that make sure that every single piece of productive output in the wealthiest nation on earth goes back to our massive military industrial complex that only brings about death and destruction overseas. Is remember, every single dollar that is spent on a bomb is stolen from each and every one of you, because that's a dollar that they spend blowing up a school overseas instead of building schools in your neighborhoods.
Damn. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's so crazy because you still hear, people online, mostly bots and psyops, saying, the radical left wants to destroy this country. It's like, no, man, we want education, healthcare, housing. Very simple. It's almost purposely, maliciously ignored to go after their own psychotic dreams, which I don't know what those are. What's up, Charlie Kelly? Good to see you, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. All men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. 100%. That's a good one. I like that Lincoln quote. I would even say not all men can stand adversity. Damn, I wish I had oh, hold on. Here, I'll prove to you. Not all men can withstand adversity. And I mean even the slightest whiff of adversity. Why do you think he said this?
Be rude.
You know what I mean? That guy can't even stand a hint of adversity. That's why you have people that are allegedly the top cop in the country going on TV and doing a humiliation kink in front of a nation, in front of a world, never mind a nation. You know how when people were like, oh, we don't want to look weak in front of China. I'm sorry. Do you think China isn't fucking playing this back to back to back, being like, get a load of these chud cucks?
I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime. And if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't have any goals or aspirations beyond that.
I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. And to the person who says because the education system has really worked wonders, no, because it's gate kept. You understand that, right? The wealthy areas have better schools. Charter schools are stealing the funding because of Donald Trump. And to get a higher education in America, you need to saddle yourself with more debt than you could make in a lifetime at the rate the economy is going under 10 years of Donald Trump. So again, you know what? Let me just go find the meme for you. I got to speak in memes to some people because they don't understand even origins. And this is why I do this. This is why I educate the people. This is why I teach people. Because once they understand when things come from, just like I was teaching everybody yesterday that in 1989, that's when we got the FICO credit scores. And people think, no way, the 80s? You mean like New Wave? You mean Flock of Seagulls? You know, like Nirvana's first album came out? No way. And yes, you have the internet. We know you're on the internet right now. Like, just fucking look it up, man. Where is it? Did I do it before or after that? I don't remember. Hold on, I'll show you about the school system. Give me a second. Did I miss it? Maybe I missed it. Oh, I definitely missed it. Hold on. So if you don't know, the Rockefellers had a big hand in the school system and developing it for a certain specific reason. Where the is it, man? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I went way by it. Here we go. I hope this cat's still here. Rockefeller just didn't build an oil empire. He built a power school system built for control, not freedom. He didn't want thinkers. He wanted workers. Kids trained to be obedient, punctual, silent, and efficient, never creative or curious. Carnegie and other industrialists hold on, backed the model rows of desks, endless tests, no innovation, structured design for factories, not for human freedom. So school felt wrong for you. Here's the truth. It was never built to help you win. And then hold on. I still have the article. So then you understand that when Rockefeller built a oppressive school system to just to as George Carlin so gracefully put it, just to educate people just enough to be able to press the buttons at the fucking factories, but not too much where they would fucking think outside the box. Not too much where they would challenge the thought of any of this. So school is valuable. That's how you typed a fucking message in here. Reading, writing, arithmetic, all those things are pretty crucial. The school system was designed specifically. Why do you think kids have to get up super early and fucking the bell rings and you go to the next thing? And then when you eventually get out and get to work, you got to be there right on time or you get a tardy. And then you have to adhere to these make-believe company corporate laws that they designed within their system to keep you subservient and obedient to the fucking company way, you know? And that's why they're constantly telling you, we value you. We value you. Oh, if there's something not safe, don't do it. We value you. Yeah, right. Check their turnover rate. They don't give a shit. Look at the layoffs over the past year. They don't care. Business don't exist to be your friend and make sure you can eat. If these companies truly valued you, they would pay you enough to eat. There would be no housing crisis, no rent crisis, no voting for price of egg. There would be none of this. So read this real quick. The emphasis on conformity stifled creativity and critical thinking, limiting the potential of independent thought and innovation. In addition to standardization, Rockefeller's influence extended to suppressing alternative education models that pose a threat to the industrial agenda. The industrialist agenda. Now we have the tech oligarch agenda. Independent and progressive educational methods may cause cancer. Hold on, another one. Here we go. By shaping the educational system to serve the needs of industry, Rockefeller aims to create a workforce that would be docile, subservient to the economic machine. This language is still echoing down the halls of America today, like throwing a goddamn hot dog down a hallway. Funniest thing one of my friends wrote in this girl's yearbook. Funniest thing. Goddamn, man. The 90s were something else. Anyways, for the economic machine. And this is still being echoed today by people like Dr. Oz when he's like, if you guys would just go to work a year earlier and not retire, we could add 3 trillion to the economy. And it's like, who the fuck is the economy? That's not us, man. We're the cogs in the economy. We're not benefiting from it. We're not getting wealthier. This generation is poorer than its parents. Nobody can afford a car. Fuck it. Like, are you kidding me? They voted on cost of living, price of egg. You know, so this is still echoed today. We still have people being like, I don't know about education, man. Don't work in this. Yeah, it doesn't work on purpose. That's not to say it's unvalued. It's not to say that we shouldn't fucking reinvest and fucking replace the system. You know, have a creative outlet where you just get like an hour of sand time. Where you fucking, you know, whatever your thing is. You want to play in a sandbox, you want to throw sand at somebody, you want to fucking, I don't know, you know? Maybe like Marco Rubio went to those gay orgy foam parties, you know? Maybe the playground's a foam party, you know? Not one of the Marco Rubio foam parties, which is for kids to get your creativity out, you know? Like, why aren't they teaching taxes, CPR, fucking Nancy Pelosi's insider stock trading, the laws, you know? Before you graduate high school, fuck the Pledge of Allegiance. Why don't you know all of the amendments, like memorized? If I want to see a kid standing up to regurgitate some memorized fucking thing, I'd like to see them stand up, put their hand over their heart, and fucking tell me all the amendments. You know what I mean? Like something that's gonna matter, so they know I know to plead the fifth. You know, I know cops aren't here to help, and they can use and will use everything I say against me. You know, like that's the shit that kids should be memorizing. Not I pledge. Like who has used the Pledge of Allegiance during their lifetime that fucking made a difference besides you pledging allegiance to Donald Trump? Seriously, I want to know. I want to know. If you were like, well, there was this sick robbery going on, and he said anybody who could say the Pledge of Allegiance gets out free. Like that doesn't happen. It's not useful. It's meant to fucking teach you obedience, to keep you docile and subservient. You know what I mean? Let's be honest and accept that most people aren't built to memorize all the amendments. And no, everybody can. We keep it simple. 1A, da da da. 2A, da da da. You know, there's memorization techniques, and we'll do it in the foam party, you know? You know, we'll have everybody go in the foam and see if they can find all the amendments. We make it fun. There's ways to learn. This is what I mean. You're not thinking outside the box. You're thinking like, oh, nobody can do this. But I'm fucking positive if kids can remember a Pledge of Allegiance until they die, which serves them no good, I'm positive there's a way to memorize 25 amendments. You know what I mean? It's like there's less. What are there? 26 letters in the alphabet. I'm pretty sure we could fucking get them. I have faith. I have faith we can. Okay. Hold on. Shelve it underground. I had a microwaved omelet, way more delicious than it sounds. Making black bean soup for dinner. Listen, don't go cacaing on a microwaved omelet. I never will. I lived in college. And I'll tell you what. You want to cook up a couple of egg white yolks real quick. You crack them. Throw amendment flashcards. Thank you, Charlie Kelly. Um. You want to do some egg whites real quick, man? You put some salt, some pepper, get them in a bowl, microwave safe bowl, throw them in. I forget how long it is to do it. And you have a hearty meal in like a minute. Just let it cool down. Just let it cool down. That's a crazy thing. I'm not a morning person. In my entire life, I've been getting up before the fucking sun. I'm before the sun. I swear to God, it's like a cruel trick. Oh, God. Always, always. Now go run off and get ready to work or have nothing. Yep. That's how it goes, Platinum Player. Go work or have nothing. Oh, what a bro. Teaspoon of mayo. Oh, you see, you've already lost me at mayo. I don't eat mayo. Never will, never have. It's disgusting. 1 egg, salt, pepper, 40 seconds. Chef's kiss. All right. Well, listen, if you're into the mayo, then go ahead. Sounds interesting. I'm not gonna lie, sounds interesting. Oh my god, good job. Charlie Kelly says microwave fish. Leave it to Charlie Kelly. Always, always. He's like, you want to know a good recipe? You get a little acetone, right? And you get some local. What did they call it when him and Danny DeVito were crab fishing? Oh my god! It's like it's the local sewer runoff crabs. You don't even taste the mayo. Oh my god. I just couldn't do it. I would do it with some Chipotle. I'll tell you what, some Chipotle sauce. I'll throw that in with some eggs, scramble it up real good. Bladao. That actually does sound good. It's too bad, not all of us can afford egg. If you can memorize your timetables, you can memorize your amendments. 100%. This is like not complicated. People are overthinking it. You forget what you're forced to like. I was forced to remember. Jesus Christ. I took a political science class or something, and every test, the guy worked for Clinton, right? The guy was so proud he worked for Bill Clinton. But so I was like, oh, yo, this is going to be the easiest class ever, right? I was like, easy street, baby. And it turns out not only was every test like memorization, but he would judge you on your index cards. So you couldn't pretend to memorize stuff. Like you had to make the index cards before the test, hand in your index cards, which would be graded, and then take the test. It was the biggest nightmare. I don't remember if I passed or failed that one. I think I passed it, but not by much. Good God, that was horrible. I got 8 chickens. Eggs enough. Oof. But chickens don't smell good, man. We barter for eggs. There we go. Duck eggs. I've never had a duck egg. I don't even think, do eggs lay ducks? I don't know. I promise you don't taste the mayo at all. It's my least favorite condiment. Try it. Have you ever tried it with ketchup? When I was real poor, I used to just have pickled jalapenos with ketchup. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, man. I thought I was getting a fucking stomach ulcer or something. Anyway, what are we doing here? Okay, here, let's go into some more. Listen, if you're, cheering on the downfall of this economy because you would like to replace it with a one that doesn't value stocks over humans, and doesn't value a small group of humans over the rest of humanity, and doesn't value AI data centers over clean water, a limited resource versus fucking robots that they're like, oh, these robots are going to take all your jobs too, so you might as well just give up the water now. Here's something else from Fox Business Live that's, very depressing.
Let's get to this. More Americans are working into their 80s. New data shows that more than
That's the other thing that really bugs me. Okay, so this is the Rockefeller, did the school thing. Let's go to this dumb bitch. Duck egg yolks are super rich. I don't like yolks, so nobody speak my language now. William says, I love all the pedos in charge. I will do anything. I love you. Even if they said they hate me, I would say, thank you, sir. I love you. Interesting. Nowhere's their 99 cents eggs. Yeah, I mean, would you smoke a blondie? Did you expect MAGA? Hey, what's up, Lemony? You expect MAGA to be honest? Really? Like, just whenever you see somebody typing about MAGA, just envision this, thick nussy. That's all you gotta do. The other thing I'm convinced about the news is they hire these people with these, I don't know, Franz Kafka-esque voices. So they lull you into this like Skynet fucking reality where they're like, everything's okay. You're just working till you're 80 now. And you can't say no. Do you like food? Or do you want to stay inside in the winter? Or yeah. Like, listen to the tone of her voice while she's what the words she's saying does not match the tone. It's like, have you ever known somebody that's passed away and like someone close to you walks up to you and they're about to break it to you? Like, hey man, I don't know if you heard, but Hatsune Miku died. Like nobody does that. The cadence doesn't match the fucking the message, man. This is psychotic. Listen to again. You have to use one ear for each. Listen to the words on one side. We're going to split the stereo. We're going to do mono in each ear. Okay, for all my producers. And I want you to listen to the message in one side and then the tone in the other. Oh my God! You should be fired and go to prison.
let's get to this. More Americans are working into their 80s. New data shows that more than 4% of Americans over 80 are still working. That's up sharply in the last decade.
up sharply. It's up from 3% in 2010 to 4.2% in 2026. Just so you know, that's horrific. That's nobody in their 80s should be working, especially the president. Like that guy should be, exiled to Epstein Island. But we're talking about like regular people that are just trying to not eat cat food, and to have probably whatever blood pressure medication they need while they ration it. In 2010, only 3% of Americans were in their 80s were working. That's still, it should be zero. The correct answer is zero, folks. If you were taking this quiz at home, the correct answer of people in their 80s working should be fucking zero. I'm so angry. I'm not 80, just so you know how this works. Like, I'm not 80. I don't know anyone that's 80. I don't think anybody in my family lived to 80. God bless America. Jesus Christ. But nobody should be working in their 80s. Nobody. You should just be, I don't know, playing chess. And this lady's like, oh my God, people in their 80s in America, it's jumped a whole 1.2%. 1.2% over the past decade. And things are getting worse. There's no Trump prescription discounts in sight, even though remember when he promised that? Oh, did you forget about the Epstein files too? You forget because there's a war going on. Oh my God.
And the 75 plus workforce is now the fastest growing demographic in the country.
That should not be the 75 plus work. We are a failed state. We're a failed nation. I don't even think 75-year-olds can get on YouTube, but what the fuck, boomers? Like, is this what you wanted? To be the fastest growing workforce instead of retiring? This is what you voted for, so you're having the day you voted for when you get up and go to work, and say, excuse me, can I take my break early? I pooped my pants. You know what I mean? They shorten our life expectancy and lengthen the years you need to work. That's right, because if you don't know, here in America, even though we pay the most for healthcare in the world and we get the least, our lifespan has drastically declined and we only live to 77 years old now. I'm sure over the past 2 years that's changed. But last I checked, it was 77. So everybody working in their 80s, you beat the odds, homie. You beat the odds. But then again, you're of a different generation, so you had access to healthcare before, this shit happened.
Country at the same.
Oh, I know somebody who's a country. Oh my God. Oh my God. By the way, you want to hear this montage by Jimothy Kimmel?
It's always 2 weeks. He's like a conscientious employee. He always gives 2 weeks notice.
I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord over the next 2 weeks. We're signing a healthcare plan within 2 weeks. We call it the gold card, and we're going to start selling hopefully in about 2 weeks. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks. A nuclear weapon within 2 weeks. Well, that's something in 2 weeks. You'll have your approval in 2 weeks. I could answer that question better in 2 weeks. I'll let you know in about 2 weeks. You can answer that question in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks we'll know which way I'm going.
Remember when they tried to get him off the air because he criticized the fucking regime? What's a book, Lemony? Oh, those are magical things. They existed in the past. Fuck, only 2 weeks. It's a dangerous amount of 2 weeks. It is. It's always that's dangerous levels of 2 weeks. It reminds me of I don't know if you ever had to go to like DUI school, graduate from drunk university, but in there they tell you like one of the most typical responses by people who get pulled over and have been drinking, they say a few beers. They're like, have you had anything to drink tonight? And the quintessential like 99% of people who do get locked up say a few beers. It's you can, if you don't believe me, go watch any of the cop videos, cop cams on YouTube, and watch them pull somebody over. They're like, I've had a few. Oh yeah, how many's that? And when were they? You just don't say nothing. He said, I'm not here to talk about my day. What's up, buddy? Would you pull me over for? Here's my license and registration. I'm not here to speak about my day. Thank you very much. I know anything I say, you will try to use against me. I'm well aware. And this is why we don't teach kids that, because they want kids to be stupider than the fucking cops out there. And the cops are pretty dumb, man. They don't have to go to law school. They don't know the laws. When they get in trouble, they're just like, oh, he's resisting. He's resisting. That's what you hear them all say. Make them all graduate law school, and then de-weaponize the police. Because MAGA got very butthurt when you said defund. So I just say de-weaponize. That's my new take on policing. We take all their weapons and we force them to be good communicators. I think it would work. What do I give a shit? This country's laws only apply to the poor, so they would only use it against us. So if you're working class, just remember that the laws only apply to you, not to the pedos in chief. I get mad at defund too. It's abolished. Like that. What's up, Cage? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Bring back police academies. I love those movies. Bring back police academies. Officer, I only drink when I drive. Charlie, you don't even have your license, man. Come on. Hold on. What? I wanted to play this for you because this is so fascinating. You know how there's non-millionaires talking about how like we shouldn't tax the million and billionaires? Just go follow More Perfect Union. They're so amazing. But they did this whole expose on, the millionaires that aren't obsessed with greed. And you got to listen to this guy talk because this is the truth of it. It's so interesting. It's about 2.5 minutes. Let me see if I'll hit it at 1.25 speed so we can hit through this. But again, taxing millionaires and billionaires works. We did it in Massachusetts. They pushed it through, or they're pushing it through, or pushed it through in Seattle. Rick Steves, who's a millionaire, fully endorsed it. This is only benefiting our society. Don't say these people earned it. They didn't. This is passive, compounding, fucking exponential growth interest that they couldn't even spend in a lifetime. And all it does is hoard resources and wealth to a specific class of a small group of people, and it denies the rest of us the essentials in life, and they're not putting back what they fucking exploited out of us. That's why you're underpaid, I'm underpaid, we're all underpaid. The minimum wage should be $66 an hour at a bare minimum, and it has moved from $7.25 in fucking almost 20 years now. So listen to this dude because he's very honest.
Side, one of the richest neighborhoods in America, and some of it's multi-millionaire. I don't even know how much taxes I pay now. My father-in-law used to say the whole point of having money is to not have to think about money.
You heard him, right? He's like, I don't even know how much I pay right now. It's probably not much, let's be honest, but that's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious to me because I've been in the trenches with these people that are like, you can't tax them. We pushed this whole ballot measure in Massachusetts back in 2022. And it was really the billionaire class funding people to fight against it, right? They're lobbyists, they're fucking, they're lackeys, they're fucking boots on the ground. And they were sending pamphlet after pamphlet about like, if you tax us, we'll leave. And all those great jobs that you can't live off of are going to disappear. And it's like, good. Maybe we'll get new fucking employers that will pay us a decent wage. But the truth is these people like don't know what they pay. They don't know. This is again, guys, I need you to tie all this together. When Donald Trump was like grocery stores, I think I made that word up. Like when he went his whole tirade on like some people say grocery, it's an old fashioned word. It's because the man has never stepped in a grocery store in his life. He doesn't know the price of eggs, the price of gas. He just knows it's a trigger word for his red-hatted fucking neo-Nazis, like that's their trigger word. Like they start to salivate when he's like, yeah, grocery, we need to make it affordable. They're like, oh my god, my king is talking about affordability. Like this is a guy who grew up in a skyscraper in New York, right? Never fucking had to understand money, comprehend money, just blew it and blew it and blew it, just like Bubba, if you've read the Epstein Files. Stole all of his dad's money when he passed away. He stole the inheritance from anybody else in his family, blew through all that. So this isn't a guy who's like financially fucking literate or even literate in general. But these people don't. Like to what you and me are like budgeting for groceries, they don't do. You just heard him say, I don't even know what I pay in taxes. And that's the truth. You think they fucking know or care? They have millions upon millions of dollars. They could Scrooge McDuck into a fucking trench of fucking money And they would be like, is this all of it? I don't know. What's money? Listen to this dude.
And I don't. Whenever I talk to the governor, she goes, oh, we can't raise anybody's taxes. They're going to just move out. The really rich people, they're not moving away. Even Ken Langone, the biggest complainer, he's staying in his office right in front of Brian Parkle.
Oh, and this is true what this guy is saying. They paid for so many fucking flyers when in 2022 in Massachusetts, when we were pushing to tax millionaires, 4% on any income over $1 million. These people sent out flyers weekly. And at the end, you could see it say paid for by da 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 da. And if you looked it up, you'd see like it was this kind of elusive fucking pact. And if you looked up who funded that, it was billionaires funding it to make it seem like, oh, we're all gonna leave. And the thing is, you know, what these billionaires don't understand is like, we don't give a shit. I know some people will be like, you don't want them to leave. They make the minimum wage jobs happen. And it's like, you're fucking stupid then. Because these people are here to exploit you. That's how they got to that position. They don't treat people well. They're fucking not friends with anybody. They don't live in your neighborhood. They're not supporting your businesses. If anything, they're doing the opposite of all that. They're the reason your fucking, you know, your education's higher, your fucking roads are shittier, your fucking infrastructure is not well built, because they're doing their best to escape fucking any fucking community accountability through taxes any way they can. And on top of that, what they're putting into the economy is these low wage fucking jobs. I've always said, if there wasn't a minimum wage, these people would pay you a fucking nickel an hour. If there was not a minimum wage, the reason we had to implement a minimum wage is because people were paid so little that the government had to push back and go, guys, you can't fucking do this, man. Like, nobody can live. And there's like 6 robber barons who are like, we own everything. We're building the schools, like I told you about John Rockefeller. So the minimum wage exists so they don't pay you fucking nothing to go to work, because they would in a heartbeat. But these people aren't leaving. And that's what I want people to understand. Like, when they're like, the rich people will leave, say, good, go to Iowa, go to fucking Idaho, go somewhere in the flyover state region, get the fuck out of our state, you know, go to China, go to Russia, where you know, you can have your fucking dictator and your authoritarian regime, and you can just, you know, try to nestle up to them. Go fucking anywhere else. These billionaires prey on you by thinking, like, if we say, hey, we'll leave, it's like, tell me how many billionaires you know. Tell me all the millionaires that are patronizing your shop. Tell me all the millionaires that you're bumping into while you drop off your kids at school. This fucking doesn't exist. They're living in gated communities, sending their kids to private schools, but they're counting on that FOMO, that the fear of missing out on millionaires is going to trigger you into defending it. And as soon as you're like, good, I'd love to see you sell all your Airbnbs, relinquish all your fucking landlordships, and get the fuck out of town. They go, oh, that talking point doesn't work. Okay. No, we weren't leaving anyways. No, we weren't. Look, where are they going to go? You know, they're living in New York and Massachusetts for a reason. It's fucking awesome here.
The whole time he was paying a 70% tax raise. We created Home Depot.
As he walked me around the area, passing Brooks Brothers and jewelry stores, he was blunt. He wouldn't even notice a tax increase.
I mean, I'd have a little bit less of a balance in one of my accounts somewhere. And it wouldn't change what I do. It wouldn't change where I eat. It wouldn't change where I go on vacation. It would change slightly the balance in some brokerage account somewhere, I guess.
Some brokerage account, I guess. This is the truth you need to hear. Because this is what they're saying at their fucking $1 million dinners. Remember Donald Trump, before he started the war? He had a $1 million dinner. You donated $1 million and you could go. Like, those people are paying $1 million for a supper, and it was probably shitty. And they can't afford tax of 4%. I say 100%, but you know, that's way too radical. How would these billionaires exist on 999 million? This is what they say behind closed doors. They're like, oh, I don't know, I think my 4th brokerage account fucking paid a little bit more. I'm not sure. He's like, it's not going to affect where we go on vacation. It's not going to affect what I fucking do. I'm not going to notice it. He's not going to start wondering how much gas cost. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. People with private jets, they're not like, ooh, is gas expensive? They're running. Okay. There's like a saying about boats. I forget what it is. It's like the best and worst day of owning a boat is the first day or some shit. I don't know. There's some saying about owning a boat because there's so much maintenance into going into it. And that like that's probably I would extend to like a skipper or canoe or skiff or whatever kind of little boat. These people own yachts. If you think they're worried, I showed you the Mark Zuckerberg yacht where he sent it to the South Pacific, kept it waiting for 3 months, burned all shit kind of fuel, never showed up, and then had the yacht, the submarine, and something else and the mini yacht that followed it back because Mark Zuckerberg just ghosted his yacht. He was like, "Why don't you go halfway across the world and I'll maybe meet you there." These people have obscene amounts of money, as presented in the Epstein files, with the jerky, homemade jerky. This guy is telling you, like, they're not going to notice. Why are you so fucking sand in your vagina over taxing billionaires?
So, if nothing would actually impact your life in a very meaningful way, why do you think that there are so many wealthy people who are vocally against being taxed?
Same way your football team is still playing hard, even when they're ahead by 30 points at the end of the fourth quarter. They just want as big a number as they can next to their name because that's their like sense of self-worth or sense of value is how.
Because they're vapid, hollow people. So for them, it's just about making the Fortune 500 list, the Forbes wealthiest people list. It's not anymore about like, I have all my needs met. I have all my wants met. I have all my dreams met. I have all my fantasies met. You know what I mean? While us working people are like, our needs aren't met. We're barely surviving. These people are beyond fantasy. You know what? I'm just going to show you yacht Zuckerberg's yacht. And we'll just call him Yacht Zuckerberg. I don't think I got rid of the photo for a vision like this. Where's Yacht Zuckerberg? Nope, that's Eyebrow Ben. Jesus, that was scary. Where's Zot Buckerberg? Here it is. Here's Zot Duckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg. This is his yacht. It has a submarine that follows it and another yacht. I think the second yacht is the one where the helicopter lands. I can't keep track. But this is what you're defending. If you're like, no, don't tax these people. They might have to lay off one staff member. Like, no, they wouldn't even lay off a staff member on their yacht. They would lay off everybody at Meta first. They would lay off their company so they could claim fucking they lost money and then get tax refunds instead of paying any taxes. So like, there's no way around it. Like this is just the road to go, or we bring back tradition. I'm not going to go into what tradition is, but tradition. Super villains. What's up, the Anacle? Good to see you. McDonald's is hiring at 1550 here. That's a fucking joke. This is what I do. Hold on. Okay. McDonald's CEO and chairman Chris Kempczynski, whatever his fucking name, had a compensation package of 18 to 20 million. 18 to 20 million. It was a 8% increase over the years 2022 to 2023. An 8% increase from fucking 19 million. Oh my God. So the McDonald's CEO is getting 20 million a year and they're offering 1550. And I guarantee you, if you went and got a job at McDonald's, they would show you some bullshit fucking video where they're like, we value our employees. No, you don't. You don't value our safety. Let me be very clear to corporate America, okay? When you make these fucking stooge ass half AI videos because you don't want to even value people to voice them anymore, and you do these lame PowerPoints where they're like, your safety is our utmost importance. You don't. Because our safety doesn't just consist of us working for you. Our safety is getting to work, being nourished to go to work, sleeping before work, having a place to sleep before work, making sure our teeth don't hurt when we go to work. And if we get sick, we have the ability to see a doctor before work. So when they tell you they value your safety, that's bullshit. Because if that was true, they wouldn't tether fucking healthcare to a job or make you work for 9 months and then you get access to the healthcare. They wouldn't fucking pay you so little where you were, pressed to fucking find enough gas for the week or afford enough food for the week or be stressed about fucking bills or rent or mortgages. That's your safety. Your safety does not exist at fucking work. Your safety is the human side of you before work. So when they show you these bullshit, like, we value, if you are in danger, we have an open door policy, please come and talk to us. And it's like, okay, I'll talk to you. You should be paying $66 an hour. And they're like, whoa, what are you, crazy? I don't know. Your CEO is making, hold on. Let's find out. What is 20 mil an hour? No, that was wrong. An hour. 20 mil an hour. Can I not 20 mile, 20 million. Jesus, sorry. Sorry, Google. 20 million an hour represents an extreme income level. You're adorable, AI. Equating to roughly 41.6 billion. No. How much? God damn, fucking AI, you're so stupid. No. 20 mil annual is what per hour? God damn. Google, are you fucking retarded? I fucking hate AI so much. Just give me the goddamn thing. Okay, here we go. If you make 20 million per year, you know what the hourly rate, when you hear me say $66 an hour is outrageous, right? Some people are like, 66? What are you, the CEO? No. Because if I was the CEO, I would say I want $9,615 per hour. Some companies are paying their CEO $66,000 an hour. If you hear of a CEO making between 95 and $100 million a year, which some of them are, even though they just started and they're not worth that money and they haven't worked a fucking day in their life before that, it was just a private handshake between the good old boys club of C-suite fucking nerds. If you're making 20 mil an hour, you're making about 20 mil a year, you're making about 10,000 an hour. 10,000 an hour. In about 3 hours, you've made the fucking average fucking median income of a lot of America in 3 hours. So I need people to comprehend this, in a way that they'll stop being so fucking stupid and bootlicking these assholes. Because if you're making 100 mil a year, you're making about 66 grand. 66 grand an hour. And these people are like, no, they can't be taxed. They made my salary. They made my yearly fucking income in a day. Don't tax them. Okay, let's get back to this rich dude. Hold on.
wealthy they are. And so they think that if they have to pay taxes, that's like somehow reducing their sense of self-esteem because they're not as rich as they used to be.
Both their net worth and self-worth got a big boost from the $12 billion tax cut for the state's richest few in Trump's one big beautiful bill. Now, the city faces a $5.4 billion deficit. So while the 1% here are enjoying even more brunch in the Met Members Club, working class New Yorkers are facing vital service cuts. With negotiations over New York.
You see how that works, right? Donald Trump gave the really rich a tax break and fucking immediately services get cut because they're like, we don't have the money for that. And the rich people that got the tax break are like, what do we care? We don't use those services. And the poor people who are working desperately and still need services because they're working so hard that they need these services to support their fucking life, not lifestyle, life. Let's be deliberate in our words. They're supporting living. Well, some people are grossly fucking obscenely fucking beyond living. They're in fantasy land, fucking paying to a Met Members Club, which is probably some obscene amount per year, just to have brunch. While other people are skipping fucking breakfast or lunch or dinner, these people are having extra meals during the day and joining clubs to have those extra meals. You understand how this like this impacts all of us. All of us.
budget ongoing. Financial experts like Morris Pearl have the solution for the city's big deficit. Tax them more.
The city's doing a lot of great things. For instance, we have like pre-K for 3-year-olds now. It's making them more prepared to go into kindergarten and do well. But it's also great for their parents. Their mothers can now get jobs and work where they couldn't before. So the city doing these things.
I hate how these fucking criminals at the top are still like, oh, if we give the parents the free pre-K, we can send the parents to work, man. They can work. It's like, how about the mom just has a fucking afternoon off, dude?
Yeah, they pay tax revenue, but it returns. It's making the city a better place for all of us, and it's making the city a better place for me too.
Yeah, that's right, billionaire. The city becomes a better place when people aren't desperate and hungry. It's amazing how that works, and it's amazing how MAGA doesn't understand this. Like, well, people that are starving and hungry and desperate fucking start to lose touch with reality, and anything becomes survival. And when you're not living in areas where people are desperate to survive, everything gets better. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? It's a very simple common sense equation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, thank you, Sardyon. Thank you. Thank ye. Thank ye, thank ye. Water Wars coming next year. Thank you, Michael. Brought to you by Nestle. The Nestle people, wait until you just hear about, like, what I'm banking on is Nestle's gonna buy into Boston Dynamics. Have they yet? I hope this doesn't happen. Has Nestle invested in Boston Dynamics? Ah, that's terrifying. It says yet. I didn't type that. It was filling it out for me. No, Nestle has not invested in Boston Dynamics. Okay. Boston Dynamics is majority owned by Hyundai Motor Group. Nestle is a customer of Boston Dynamics, not oh Jesus. God damn it. God damn, this is how it starts. This is how the water wars start. I've been so scared of this for so long. Okay. So Nestle is a customer of Boston Dynamics. If you don't know Boston Dynamics, they're the ones with the crazy fucking robots that can do backflips and, you know, spin kicks and judo. They can beat up Joe Rogan. They have the robot dogs that can hunt you down with thermal vision, probably. So I've always been terrified because Nestle owns the water rights to the world. Because, you know, once you have excess wealth, you can just go, well, what do we want to own? Money is no thing. What should we buy? Oh, all the land, and then suck the water rights directly from the fucking inhabitants of the earth. Okay, sounds good. And then what do? Let's sell it back to them in plastic bottles. Great. So that's Nestle, and that's Boston Dynamics. And I've always been terrified that Nestle would invest in Boston Dynamics, take control, form an robot army to stand guard of their water resources, and deny the humans one of the vital things that we need to exist on Earth, water. And it turns out Nestle is a customer of Boston Dynamics, not an investor. Nestle Purina utilizes Spot, the robot dog, for thermal and acoustic inspections in its factories. Oh, I'm sure that's going to expand very soon. Just wait till Spot, the robot thermal acoustic dog, fucking is prowling your property, sniffing and thermal looking for water underground. They're going to have like sonar and radar and deep fucking radar, and you're just going to see these thermal dynamic fucking robot dogs prowling all of your territory. So you're going to be like, private property, and the dog's not going to be a respecter of people. He's going to think he's a fucking meta god, you know? And the dog's programming is going to chase you. They're going to have the loudest, scariest fucking Cthulhu style bark, you know? And they'll dress it up like a Baba Yaga, like this thing, to hunt you out of your own home. And you'll be like, honey, get out of there. Spot the thermal dogs coming. Robots, Boston Dynamics robots are used for robotics as a service. Oh, I bet. What kind of service? Oh, a service for DHL, Maersk, and Nestle. Yeah, we know what that service is coming to. We know. So yeah, just be prepared, because there's no defeating this robot army once they've figured out how to Ultron their way into the internet and, you know, take control of whatever. Whew, that's terrifying. Anyways, oh, wait, I missed the super chat. I'm sorry. Thank you, Stevelson. Americans can save money and have their meals aligned with Department of Health and Human Services guidelines by eating, quote, a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a corn tortilla, and one other thing. Stephenson, that's my favorite part of that. They're like, and one other thing. Because I would have loved to, again, this is why I need to, robot dogs that look like Pam Bondi. Draconic crane. Dracon, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. That is the funniest shit. If they just had, if they, oh, thank you, Sardion, for gifting memberships. If they had just robot dogs and they fucking masked them with like Carolyn Levitt and Pam Bondi. Bow, wow, bow, wow, bow, wow. And they played How is the Dow. They equipped them with MP3 speakers so they could they could play different sound clips. Everybody's saying it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks until we get the water. Don't worry, folks. Go back into your homes. You'll be out of here in 2 weeks. Let's stop buying anything Nestle. Yes, you should. I try to. Who's that? Gracie? Oh, a fellow gypsy. Love it. Just be prepared. As soon as you start looking up, what does Nestle own? You're gonna be shocked. It's a lot. They have a lot of subsidiaries. So remember, you might see the Nestle logo on the back in small print, and it's gonna look like something else. They own a lot. They own a lot. But I wholly support imprisoning the Nestle executives to make an example, and hopefully the rest will fall in line. That's what you got to do. You've heard this with like Rico, and if you watch any cop shows, they're like, we got to bust a few at the bottom, find out who the people at the top are, and then cut the head off the snake, and then the empire will fall. So I feel like that's how we got to deal with these criminal corporations. If you zip tie a few executives and drag them out, drag them out by their ankles, zip tied, just let their face be scraping against the concrete. You do that in front of the whole company on a Monday morning when everyone's getting there on time. I'm sure everybody's going to start considering their actions. But until then, Well, wait, it's not a snake, it's a hydra. That is very true. It is a hydra. Go for the nads. Go for the nads. You gotta go. That should just be a t-shirt. When the revolution comes, we'll have a t-shirt that says, just go for the nads. We'll know. You and I will know. We'll be like, I got you. I got you. Are these the nads? Hey, lady, hide your nads, man. Why are they way up high? Oh my God. Looks like she was kicked so hard her nads went right up into her throat. That's what it kind of looks like. Whew. I don't know why she'd let an internet photo like this leak out, That was probably sent to her 70-year-old husband. Like, honey, look at this gobbler. That blonde scares me. It scares us all, man. It scares us all. Caterpillar's End. Good to see you. Good to see you. If you snuck in. Good to see you. Wait, who was saying something before? I forgot what we were talking about. Almost every item on a grocery store shelf is made by one of 4 companies. Yeah, that's the really terrifying thing. Article 2, Section 4. Call your representatives. Hey, what's up? None of your business. Asking for Article 2, Section 4. It's better than the 25th you're talking about. We'll get rid of the president and the entire cabinet. But I think they need a consensus on that. Again, none of these old pieces of hemp paper matter when you have a bunch of people who are complicit and benefiting off the crimes against humanity. I wouldn't say there's too many people. There's like maybe a handful of people in politics right now that are not bought and paid for, whether it's APAC tracker or just what corporations. We clearly know there are no Republicans. There are, and this is just the truth. The Republican Party is been salivating for this moment. If you listen to, who was it, like Lindsey Graham or no, Turd McDonald, Mitch McTurtle. Mitch McDonald has been talking about getting the Supreme Court to a way that can just rule in favor of them. And he's talked about how it's a generational plan. Like this isn't something that can happen overnight, that it takes, a long time to establish, but once it's established, they have the tyrannical rule that they have so desired. So this is, again, a system put in place by many different working facets, all in collaboration. That's why you saw the Project 2025 people come together, because the wealthy are very organized, because they understand the one thing that most common Americans don't, that we outnumber them. That's just simple math. This isn't like my theory. Like, we outnumber them. And as soon as we stop buying into the race baiting, the trans baiting, the homo baiting, the gender baiting, the misogynist baiting, the trad wife baiting, the furry baiting, all this baiting, all this culture war stuff, as soon as like Americans stop seeing people as like, oh, we're not divided by politics, we're divided because you want to use a kitty litter instead of a bathroom, as soon as they stop buying into that bullshit, and realize like, hey man, we're all human, and we all just want to fucking not have to work till we're 80, like I played on the news, have a fucking comfortable home and a dinner that doesn't consist of one piece of chicken, one quart tortilla, one piece of broccoli, and something else. And if we could unite under that, like, we could fucking take the power back in a nighttime, in one nighttime. That reminded me, that's Stephelson. Your comment was what I triggered. I wish I was in the press corps when they announced that. The one piece of chicken, one tortilla, one piece of broccoli, and one other thing. Because I would have had I would have loved to just been peppering them with questions and make it as stupid as possible. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Again, when you're dealing with these people and they're acting like serious people but saying shit that is buffoonery, you have to engage in that. You can't take them serious. You can't be like, are you telling the American people to really have that? You can't do that, that's what the outside of like feeding on child souls, like, they love when you take them serious. That's the other thing that nourishes the demon that lives inside of you somewhere. I don't know where it is. You'd have to get one of those thermal scanners. They relish, they indulge, it nurtures ball inside of them when you take them seriously. So if I was at the press conference, and this is why, like, the journalists today just do us such a fucking disservice, I would have said, would that one other thing be one M&M, or would it be considered the pack of M&Ms? Because in a pack you get many, but would you only consider it one? Would you save one M&M per night per meal? And does the same go for, let's say, a Skittles or a Devil Dog or a Yodels, where you get two in the pack? Or maybe you bought one of those rolls of donuts at the gas station after paying $75 for a gallon of gas. Would you just take the one donut out, and would that be the one other thing, or would the whole package be the one other thing? And that's how you fucking indulge these idiots to fucking go into it and think like, oh, look at us, we're very smart people. Well, technically, if you had the whole pack of M&Ms, that could be your one extra thing. And then you'd say, oh, how gracious of you, my lord. How gracious of you, my lord. And that's how you treat it. That's it. When they tell you, the Americans, like, hey, man, shit's going to be tough for another decade. Your life expectancy is going down. Those fucking prescription rebates of 1500% aren't anywhere. Neither the Doge dividends checks or the tariff rebates. But we got some good news. Dinner now consists of one piece of chicken, one corn tortilla, one piece of broccoli, and one special thing, And you fire back with, would that just be one M&M or a packet of M&M? And you let them dig into it. You let them feel like they are God when they tell you, well, if you want to have the whole packet. And you just thank them profusely. Here, I think I have an audio clip of them being thanked profusely.
Chooses to nominate somebody else, and I go back to being the DAG. That's an honor.
I would say that's an honor. That's an honor. If they said you could have the whole bag of M&Ms, I'd go, that's an honor.
If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So,
and that's what I would have said. I would have wrapped it up by saying, thank you for your attention to my matter, and I love you, sir. And I would have said it right to this guy's face. Right to this guy's face. Holy shit. Emphasis on including your inclusion of neighbors in your plans if they chill. Pretty common in the tornado belt to invite neighbors to your shelter. Remember when Tucker Carlson wanted to fuck the green M&M? I do. It haunts me. You know, because what what a flip we've had with Tucker Carlson, where you know he was lecturing on Donald Trump using the F word on Easter, and I remember Tucker when he was really upset that the green M&M wasn't sexy anymore. You know, like if that's the guide you go to for your moral values of the day. Only in America can you be upset that the green M&M isn't sexy enough and the president said the F word on Easter. It's like, you take yourself way too seriously, man. Nobody should take you serious. He's a very important boy. It's definitely something that lives rent-free in my head. Me too, but rent-free in like the greatest way. You know what I mean? Because because you gotta remember, Tucky Tums Tums, when he got upset about the green M&M, he was doing a serious bit. This wasn't like my YouTube show. This was not like I'm here to joke, you know, which I've done live streams where I pretend I'm very serious and a lot of people don't get it. And I'm, you know, being fucking obscenely, obtusely fucking satirical. And people just don't get it. And I knew that before my mom died, all grown up. She's like, people are not going to understand your comedy. You're fucking too dry for them. They can't pick it up. It's just not something most people can fucking comprehend, right? I'm cursed with that, but that's okay. But Tucker wasn't doing it like I was doing it, you know? Like if I came in and started the show and I was like, guys, you're not going to believe this. They have made, what's another good mascot? Hold on. Smacks the Frog. Nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows who that is. Hold on. Kids, food, mascots. Let's find an obscure one. Toucan Sam. No. Tricks the Rabbit. Oh my God. Tricks the Rabbit. If I came in here and said Tricks the Rabbit. Hold on. Who else? Man, there's really not many female. But if I came on the show and said they made Tricks the Rabbit less sexy, and I was very mad, and I said, see what they're doing? See what corporations are doing? They're making Tricks the Rabbit less sexy and more, he's escaping from more children, and he's never gonna get them goddamn tricks. I don't even know how I could do this seriously. I don't. I just don't know how to do this. You know? Like I'm not good at that. And there's like, are there any female kids food mascots that are female? There's none. It's like the green M&M. She's the sun-made raisin bitch. Oh yeah, Little Debbie, Miss Chiquita. Okay, we got a few. Yeah, if I came in here and said they were making the sun-made raisin bitch, what would Tucker do? He would be like, you know, they're making the sun-made raisin girl Middle Eastern. Hold on. 7 iconic female food mascots you need to know. Who's this purple M&M? Tell me more. Like, this is how I envision Tucker Carlson fucking after his show. He's like, tell me more about this purple M&M I haven't heard of. But if they said like the sun-made raisin bitch was now gonna wear a burqa, you know, I'd be like, see what these woke corporations are doing? They're ruining all our female mascots. You remember when you used to take the sun-made raisin box? No, what was that? Land O'Lakes butter. And you do the Land O'Lakes butter thing. Anybody do that? That was like a 90s thing. They're making the Land O'Lakes butter thing more indigenous looking. And we're just not gonna have these evil corporations. That's the funniest thing about Tucker. This is why I can't do it. Because like Tucker Carlson was mad at, is that Nestle that owns M&M's? Hold on. Nestle owns M&M's. No, not Nestle. Mars Incorporated. I thought Mars was a subsidiary of Nestle. Turns out they're not. But that's the funniest thing when you really fucking, Forrest Mars Sr. did briefly work for Nestle. Oh my God. They do have a tie. They're separate entities. But they do have a tie. I knew there was a tie there. Oh yeah. I knew fucking Mr. Mars Bars, Forrest Mars Sr. worked for Nestle. I don't know how I knew that. And M&M stands for Mars and Murray. Oh God, I'm never gonna eat M&Ms again. I don't like them anyways, but we are really going down the rabbit hole, folks. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry about this. Stupid, sexy food ladies. These stupid, sexy food ladies. Wait, Blind Melon? I love Blind Melon. What's up, Sizzle? Good to see you. And Dusty, if I didn't say hi yet. That's so funny. Red Bar is watching. Red Bar is watching what? What is Red Bar watching right now? Blankets of Blank? That's a good name. Red Bar is watching what? Blind Melon? I'm new here. What's the vibe? The vibe is fucking radical, man. Mold Greg. We're anti-fascist, anti-capitalist, socialist, for the people. We're talking about the Nestle water wars that are probably going to happen in the next year as soon as the Boston Dynamics robot army gets up and running and they get to Ultron. Gang, just describe. Oh yeah, new sub. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Much love. Good vibes sent your way. I'm your official vibe coach. My name is Rob. Nice to meet you, Mold Greg. I'm here every single weekday, so hit the notification bell and join me. Red Bar is watching No Rant. Where are you guys watching Red Bar? If you don't know who Red Bar is, he's a very funny dude. Are you watching him on redbarradio.net? Or he doesn't even go live on the thing. I haven't seen Red Bar in a long time. But we were talking about the culture war that doesn't exist. It's a class war, and how Tucker Carlson, very serious boy who plays angry man on TV sometimes, got really mad when they made the green M&M less sexy, and I thought that was so funny because I was trying to do that, I was trying to be like, they're making this Land O'Lakes lady, they're covering up the Land O'Lakes lady. She used to have a nice big tank top on and naturals glistening in the sun, and now the Land O'Lakes lady's wearing a turtleneck. Like, I couldn't even do that because once you start to walk that argument out, right? And you realize that Tucker Carlson was, so I was looking up, the Mars Corporation is not part of Nestle, but Forrest Mars Sr., who started the Mars Corporation, did work for Nestle, so they do have loose ties and they will be allied in the water wars. But once you understand like what Tucker's really saying is like, he's like, I'm mad at corporations because they made a mascot less sexy. So he can get mad at corporations, not for avoiding taxes, underpaying people, fucking stealing our natural resources, poisoning our land and fucking water, for, investing fucking in all of the tyrannical shit you see right now, because they all are. They're apolitical. Corporations do not have a fucking side. They just go to where power is. Because they want deregulations, they want to poison the fucking lakes in your backyard, they want to fucking make sure that you have to work to get healthcare. They will go wherever power is structured in their favor. They are not left or right. So once you hear Tucker's argument of like, the green M&M is not as sexy, I'm mad that I don't know what he said. I gotta listen to it again because so he gets mad at the corporations because they made a inanimate object not as hot to him, but he doesn't give a fuck that like they pay people not enough and tie their fucking healthcare to having a job. It's like, on its face, it's just so stupid. And the people that buy into that shit are like, I don't know, Wait, what's going on? Vancouver Island. That sounds like an amazing place. That sounds awesome. What's up, Isabel? Good to see you. Todd, most of America's broke. I love it. What are you going to be, the guy who's like, I'm not. I'm one of the rich people and piss on you poor people? Todd, that's your take, man? Yeah, we're all fucking broke. Everybody's working 3 jobs. Oh, Todd, I'm sorry. You weren't here for the goddamn fucking Fox News segment that I played, where they're like, now more than ever are people in America working past 80 years old. Like, I'm sorry, you're a fucking retard. Jesus.
Right, let's get to this. More Americans are working into their 80s. New data shows that more than 4% of Americans over 80 are still working. That's up sharply in the last decade. And the 75+ workforce is now the fastest growing demographic in the
Todd, the 75+ workforce is the fastest growing demographic in America. Todd, talk some shit about the 75+ workforce. People who are older than 75 having to work. It's the largest growing workforce in America. Go tell me how we're great. Go tell me how we're great, Todd. These fucking people, man. These fucking people. Rob, where are at? Man, where are at? Where are at? Where are at, man? Gang just subscribed. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait. I already read that comment. Hi, City Jana Zahira. Awesome, pretty name. Glass dessert sounds dangerous to eat. Well, that's where we're at in America. Well, you can still afford glass. I work till I die under my desk. Just caught Gypsy. Do you need a doctor's note? I'll write you one. No one's gonna check. It's just like when you apply for a job. They're like, we want a bachelor's degree, and you just check it off. What are they gonna check? Be like, I don't know, I lost it somewhere. Where'd you go? Harvard. You know, they make all this shit up, man. You know, if they're not paying you fucking what your bachelor's degree cost plus some, then just fucking tell them you have one. I'm here to break all the rules, man. Jesus told me so. Yes, please. All right. Gypsy. I'm so glad you said that because I offer this I offer these services all the time. I offers doctor's notes to everybody. I'm like, you need me to write you a note to get out of work early? I'll do it. I don't give a shit. A doctor, Dr. Sun-Made Raisin Lady. MD. I have a doctorate in raisins. All right, you know, that's I should open up a thing on my website where you can print out doctor's notes with my signature. Like what's gonna happen? No, seriously, I want somebody to tell me what's gonna happen if I just fucking made up doctorate of fucking Kellogg's cereal, you know? Doctorate of pepper. I have a doctorate in pepper. You know, just send it to your work. What are they calling the doctors? I'm sorry, man. This is all made up. The reason you have a certain amount of sick days and they have a sick day policy is a bunch of corporate fucking people who got together and they were like, how can we keep these people working as much as we can without giving them any time off? They have to earn their sick time, first of all. All right, good start. Yeah, let's make them work for a few weeks before they can even get sick. This is what fucking happened. Do you understand that? And the government fucking rubber stamped it. Like, this is how America works. There's no guaranteed sick time, no guaranteed paid vacation, no guaranteed paid parental leave. This is the world we operate in. So I say, I reject all those rules. I'll write you a goddamn note. I don't give a shit. I do not give a fuck, and you shouldn't either, you know? Because money is fake. This whole fucking thing is run by a bunch of PDF files at the top, and I want to check in with Hassan and see what he's doing.
Happen. The idea that Iran wouldn't even strike the Gulf states was immediately disproven, right?
Damn, he's got a toothpick. He's making me jealous, man. I want a toothpick. I got a piece of a toothpick.
So here we are
in the region and a lot of moving parts. Guys?
Trey, so you obviously were reporting there on strikes that were still coming into Israel. There were reports that strikes are still happening in the region. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this morning there were reports of explosions on 2 Iranian islands and at least 1 oil facility off the coast of Iran, an indication that the United States or Israel is still conducting airstrikes against the Iranian regime. But it also comes amid new incoming fire toward Gulf countries. Both Kuwait and the UAE have reported dozens of ceasefire violations. We're talking about drones and missiles being launched over the Persian Gulf toward these countries. And so it
Hold on. I have a doctorate to smoking blondie. Yeah, brother, it's a nuts situation. The owner is a money-hungry, greedy, evil dude. Of where? Mountain Men Axes. Oh, that sounds cool. I need a new axe, actually. Do you do axes? I have the fuck is it called? I forget. But it can't do the work I need. I don't know if you do axes. or if that's just a name. Sick days is so fucking strange to me as a European. Oh, Sardion, what is your policy when you take a job there? If you could fill us in. This is why I absolutely love and adore, and I'm so honored to have people outside of America be part of this community, because this is really where Americans can learn something. So Sardion, if you could just share a little bit, I don't want you to have to type crazy, but Mountain Man Axes, I don't even have a sick day policy. I've been there 9 years. That is disgusting. And this is what I fight against every day. Please hit subscribe, notification bell. Because this is the stuff that bothers me to no end. Not just because I've experienced, because loved ones I experience, is because I hear this all the time, and I've been in arguments online, which I just kind of stopped doing. You know, I made a rule many years ago after MySpace where I just wasn't going to do this engagement thing. I'll either dunk on these fuckers, do a quick thing, or just not engage, because these people aren't here to learn. But there were people online many years ago, this is how long we've had this problem, saying if I get sick, I just take a vacation day. And I was like, and what do you do for your vacation? And they were like, I'll just take a vacation day. And I was like, well, if you're really sick that year, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't even make sense. And they're doing it for what? To like appease some corporate fucking overlord. So I'm so sorry to hear that, Mountain Man. That's fucking horrific. And I'm fighting every single day here to change that. I have a doctorate in drugs. Amazing. 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 That's a professional right there. I hate the desperate bid for efficiency and exploitation. And it's a science, Isabel. It is they have whittled this down to a science. And that's the really disgusting thing about America is it's such a for-profit industry that even the exploitation is for profit. Like they will hire, instead of just paying employees, which would cost them way less, right? Instead of just guaranteeing that our employees are healthier, give them a 3-day work week. Because again, the science backs me up on this. If when Henry Ford and Tom Kellogg back in the whatever it was 20s, when the unions and FDR and everything fought and fucking people died for the weekend and all this shit, the 8-hour workday. The 2020 hindsight vision that these robber barons had was it was more profitable for them. The turnover rate, the injury rate, the what else? There's a bunch of different stats that go along with shorter work days, a shorter week, more time to live and be healthy. And it not just benefits the workers, but it benefits the company, right? And then I talked about, it was either a year or 2 years ago now, where the UK had 1,000 companies go to a 4-day work week, and I think 92 to 99% of them stayed at a 4-day work week because the turnover, that was the other thing, the turnover rate, the workplace injury rate, all these different rates dropped down when people had time to rest and get away from work and then come back, and there was no loss in pay. And these corporations kept it because they saw better results. Because turns out if you treat people well and people get to live a life, they come back and they're like, I'm fucking refreshed. I'm not going from one job to the next, to DoorDash, to an hour of sleep, to sleeping in my car, to fucking, not affording egg, to crying about filling up my gas tank, to the next job. And it turns out when you have people that, can survive or live, not survive, it works out. But instead of just doing the simple shit like that, they will literally pay hundreds of millions of dollars to union busters, consultants, and all these people to come in and figure out the science behind trying to trick you into why a pizza party is better than guaranteed sick time. You know what I mean? My community, while your family here, no, I'm fucking not. Because if I was your family and you watched me starve at home or fucking not be able to afford rent, you would be a bad family member. And this is what I try to teach people all the time. Israel does not do ceasefires. No. And Americans that didn't know that are learning today. Who said bring back Ronald Reagan? You mean just dig him up and then piss on him? Okay. Okay, here's Sardion talking about if you have a job with a contract and you get sick, you get 2 years paid the first month's 95%. You get 2 years paid the first months, 95% after that, 70%. That's what I mean. Like, this is that fuck, like, American, if you explain that you get 2 years paid, Americans be like, oh, entitled. It's like, no, man, that's just like, that's humanity. Hold on. Just Google child marriage age in US. Yeah, don't do that in the South. And we have a minimum of 25 days paid off when you work 40 hours. A minimum of 25 days paid. Are you guys Americans, are you hearing this? This is first-hand knowledge from Europe, man. After the 2 years, government pays you. Okay, so the first 2 years, if you're sick, are paid by the company, 95%, and then drops down to 75%. And if you're longer than 2 years, the government steps in. You know, because the government's funded by your money, your taxes. And then Sardion also said that it's a minimum 25 days, minimum of a month paid off. Dylan loves Posh. Good to see you. European wrongful dismissal laws are significantly more protective of employees than the at-will system standard. Oh my God, the at-will. I hate fucking seeing that word. No matter who you vote for, you always get BB. Thank you, Noah. That is true. That is true. That is true. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's 16 in a lot of states. A lot have no minimum. I didn't know a lot had no minimum. I believe it though. Moving. Yeah, Gracie Gypsy. As soon as you learn stuff like this, you're like, oh, fuck. How do I get that action? How do I get that action? Yeah. But the thing is we can have that here. We just need people to understand that that is possible. It already exists. It is our right as humans to be able to have time away from work to be sick. You shouldn't earn that. This is where it really bugs me, because I think like hearing the language and the words people use and how like corporate people have perverted our language and conditioned humans in America to be docile and subservient. And when you say, "Oh, you don't have any earned sick time," just the fucking phrase, earn your sick time. You need to work hard enough to be sick. You have not worked enough to be sick. Like, do you hear that? And somehow that's so fucking American, and Americans latch on to that, and Americans defend it. And it's just such a perversion of fucking, number one, any American that thinks this is a Christian nation. Jesus wasn't like, I'd love to heal you, but do you have any earned sick time? I know you guys are lame and begging for change on the street, and I'd love to fucking make you see, but how's your earned sick time? Have you begged enough today to earn me fucking healing you? You know, when Jesus had, what was it, Mary, and who was the other sister? When he went out to Mary, and her brother fucking Lazarus was in the tomb, and she was like, teacher, if you had just been here, you know, a few days ago, he would have never died. And he's like, ah, man, I'm gonna have to see Lazarus's sick hours. Does he got any? Because if not, I'm not gonna be able to work this magic. You know what I'm talking about. Lazarus had a pre-existing condition. Oh, good God. I want to rewrite the Bible. I'm going to rewrite the Bible and be like, turns out that miracle was null and void because he got an AI denial from United Health. And then Jesus and Luigi step in and I forgot. That guy died of fentanyl. That CEO of the healthcare company, he overdosed on fentanyl. I saw the video. Most of the states that allow child marriage have sister wives or specific clauses that allow child abusers to marry their teen victim. Yeah, that. Oh, I know. I've seen some of them shows, man. And that's yo, Dusty. The craziest thing is like these motherfuckers in Utah have like TV shows. There was a TV show. I never watched it, but it was like called Sister Wives. And I was like, what the fuck is going on in America where you were like putting that on TV, bro? Your sister should not be your wife. That is goddamn wrong. And here they are flashing in front of everybody, making Elon Musk cry in the corner. Little Scorpion, too common. I literally got COVID because of my employer and they treated me like a new staff member would, due to how horrible the turnover was. That's what I mean. Yeah, well, if you've just lived in the past 10 years and you experienced how you clap for the essential employees, but when the essential employees want to be paid like they're essential, all of a sudden fucking can't help you here. You know what I mean? The hypocrisy knows no bounds and it exists everywhere. And usually it's very blatantly in your face. You don't get to call people essential and then have nurses on the streets fighting for union contracts. That's not essential. If they're essential, you want them well paid, well rested, and being able to work because they're essential. If you didn't pay attention to the nurses strike in New York and the nurses strike since and the absolute fucking horrific patient quotas and how mistreated these fucking nurses and doctors and these people are, um you don't get to call them essential, clap and bang pots and pans for them, and then fucking pretend like they shouldn't be paid fucking way more than a livable wage because, again, essential. Maybe we've lost touch what the language means. Like if I said you need oxygen, it's essential. That means you die without it. You know what I mean? Like this is how simple I keep it. This is just how simple I keep it. Hold on, I want to check in with Hassan.
But even then, they don't present a strong enough opposition. They don't actually try to get people on the record with the War Powers Resolution when they should have. Right now, they're talking about it, but they should have done this months ago at this point, right? And they consistently say, oh, it's the process. It's the process that we disagree with. You didn't ask us for advice. You didn't ask us for confirmation. Fuck the process. You should be undermining the argument in its entirety. Why are we waging war with Iran to begin with? It's unfucking believable. And while Americans, like I said, are maybe not as careful or considerate about the everyday
Hey man, it's my internet. He's got a handsome hat on today, by the way. God, my internet is just fucked. Anyways, sorry. It's insane for me. It was an unnecessary food job. It's insane to want someone infected near food or let alone immune compromised people in a hospital. 100%. 100%. Who also like the flying spaghetti monster. I'm old enough to know what that is. Isabel, my partner follows the Fundy Snarks, and you would be shocked. Well, oh yeah, I love Fundy Fridays. I haven't watched them in years, but I used to watch all their stuff because they do good work and they're real those are real fucking smart people. Like I respect people who can dig into the dirt, still kind of make it funny and also tread lightly. I'm not a tread lightly guy, you know, like I'm full fucking bore because I know how ruthless not only these people are, but their tactics and their fucking techniques are. You know, these people are ruthless at the end of the day, no matter if it's one of these cult like religions that want to enforce no age laws and marriages or whatever. You know, I know they're vicious and they know no end. So I try to at least teach people to be equipped to hear what the fuck they're saying to you because sometimes it's camouflaged in very normal sounding language, you know? And the thing is they naturalize you into it from birth. You know, from birth they tell you stuff. You'll hear stuff. Your parents, cousins, uncles, fucking whatever talk about earned sick time, or sister wives, or all this perverted language, and not perverted in the like you shouldn't marry your sister and put that on TV. But and that's a joke. You get what I'm saying? But in the way it's perverted that they've acted like it's in your best interest, and really it is the detriment to our society. um but I love the Fundy, I think it's just called Fundy Fridays. Boop 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 doo 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 doo. Yeah, the fundamental Christians are fucking nuts, man. Brian Thompson was definitely hamming it up. Yo, that guy was playing fast and loose with Fenty. We need Jesus to turn water into wine before we're out. All right, guys. Oh, what's up? What's up? All my pixies and my gypsies are here. I love it. We got a whole group of pixies and gypsies. I love you. You guys are so special to me. We got Aurora Pixie and what was it? Was it Gypsy? Wait. I know I got Shy Pixie and hold on, where's Gracie Gypsy? There we go. Yo, we got a rad community of gypsies and pixies. That's what I want. All comrade pixies and gypsies. If you don't know, I come from a lineage of gypsies by the Rock of Gibraltar. So I'm used to the gypsies. I love them. It was my grandmother. Absolute freak. That lady could find a cat no matter where the fuck you went. That's no joke, man. I remember I got to visit my grandma a few times before she passed, long fucking decades ago. And you show up and she just have a new cat. And you'd be like, Grandma, how the fuck you getting these cats? She'd be like, it just showed up. It just showed up. And her whole place was like filled with crystals and just crazy shit. God damn, man. Oh, I love it. Hello from Moscow. Cottuccini. Oh, what does that name mean? That's a cool name. The Kitty Distribution Center. It was no distribution. She was collecting them. Come on, man. She was collecting them. That was the problem. We were like, man, Grandma, last time we came here, I'm going to be your grandma when I grow up. Yo, one of my favorite trips to go see my grandma is she was busting out the old photo album and she goes through one page and she's like, and this is the cannabis tree we used to grow in the backyard. And it was like 10 feet tall. And I was like, God damn, Grandma. You shouldn't have been taking pictures of that in the 70s. You could have been locked up. Yeah, I come from a wild fucking bunch. A wild bunch. Weed Nana is cool as fuck. Yep. Oh man, I wish I had old folks in my family. That's the one thing I miss, man. That's the one thing I miss. My grandma grows it. Yeah, mine did too. When it was like recently outlawed by Nixon. You know what I mean? When he was, I'm talking about in the height fucking Nixon era when he was like, "We're coming after you, Abby Hoffman." Like my grandmother was. Yeah, she was hardcore. I just come from rebellious roots. Okay, rebellious roots. It's just in the fucking genetics. I don't know what's wrong with me. You can adopt some, Rob. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You just don't find many cool old people like you did when I was growing up. You know, that's the other thing you don't hear too often. Because like now, listen, I talk to a lot of old folks at many of my jobs, and they're like boomer. You know, they're like there's these fucking boomers where they live in a different reality. And I'm talking about like I had to bring up on my phone a fact that I knew was a fact that this dude was telling me was not a fact. And I was just like, I can't do this with you. I cannot fucking play this mind game where like I have to exist in some alternate dimension so you can fucking feel like you're validated. Like, bro, I can't do that shit. Judgmental boomers. I'm one of those. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing a lot. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's a ton of cool folks out there, but the ones I've experienced, they're just not like again, but I say this all the time. They have phones now, bro. Listen, they do have phones, but they don't know how to use them. You know, they go to like Fox News and fucking Grinder if they're Republicans. Um, my husband grandparents are like a million and QAnon. Oh, yeah, that's what well, you know what it is. And so this is what it is. This is the breakdown. So when I was growing up, we didn't have nobody had access to the fucking internet. If you did, it was like, you know, you were going to some random chat, you know, like you were maybe asking Jeeves, and that was like it. So most adults like either read books or just watched one of the four channels on TV, you know, and it wasn't so polluted and fucking dangerous at the time. Like it wasn't such a grift. It wasn't like such a highly focused for-profit market of attention. So when I was growing up, like old folks or older folks like always would like I remember hearing this, like we want it better for you. Like we want to do shit for you. There was a thing called Aquanet, okay? Aquanet. It was this hairspray. I remember me and my cousin fucking at my grandma's house in New York. God damn, man. we would, because my aunts had the Aquanet, and you wanted your hair spiked as high as you could get it, right? So we would go in the bathroom. We would be spraying Aquanet till we were choking. Choking. It looked like we had plastic fucking on us because we were using so much Aquanet because we wanted our hair spiked straight the fuck up, right? And then we had the Montreal Accord, where the world came together and was like, Aquanet is putting a hole in the ozone. We're going to not use those aerosol cans, and corporations are going to agree, and the people put pressure on it. And we had the Montreal Accords. You can look this up. And Aquanet fucking does not exist anymore. And the way aerosol cans are manufactured or whatever is not the same way, because collectively, as a fucking human species, we were like, oh, hairspray isn't worth the price of the ozone layer. You know, we were like, that's clear and easy. But again, we didn't have like Tucker Carlson being like, I like a ozone layer that's very sexy with holes in it. You know, like I'm sure that would have been his take. You know, why isn't the ozone layer more white? You know, like he would have said some stupid shit like that. So that wasn't there to pollute and poison the minds of the old folks. And they were just like, oh yeah, no shit. We don't want our kids getting sun cancer, you know? Like we should totally agree on that. And it happened. It happened. I lived through that. I was a fucking baby of Aquanet, you know? Like you're growing up, there was the hair metal, there was the hip hop, there was all this fucking cool music, and then boom, grunge came in and nobody wanted Aquanet. Maybe that was it. Maybe grunge really stopped. Maybe grunge saved the ozone. I don't know. But I know the Montreal Accords are a thing. And nowadays, you have grown folks that are almost less responsible with their phones than young folks. And I'm not saying young folks get duped, but old folks really lean heavy into the confirmation bias. So if they believe something is what it is because they're older and they cherish their wisdom, and how could I be wrong if I'm this old and have a job and a house? And that confirmation bias really is seeped into their pores, where you can't teach that old dog new tricks. And they find, you know, because the algorithm curates it to your specific confirmation bias, the things you want to hear, and it knows you'll click on so you can give it some more attention and somebody can make some more money on it. These old folks are just constantly in these feeds of fucking confirmation bias, and then they're convinced that they can't be wrong, even though you could, and this is why I say this all the time to people in the chat, you can just Google it. You know, Google's not trustworthy, so maybe DuckDuckGo it, or there's other ways that you can find out facts and then vet those sources and see if it's real. And this is very accessible compared to when I was growing up and you needed books and shit. One way, one truth, one life. When I was in elementary school, I had the MacGyver spikes. The MacGyver spikes. Oh my God, MacGyver? I remember MacGyver. It's a shame I wouldn't make it to the States. They like carve me off straight away. You don't want to come to the States. Trust me. But I do want to cross that fucking pond. Solidarity to all my comrades across the pond. There's a Bristol County. We have a Bristol County in Massachusetts. We have a Paris over here too. Everything in Trump always chickens out. Taco. What is taco? Taco is Trump always chickens out. Aquanet forever. Little Scorpion Queen. I do remember the free AOL discs. I wish I had saved a bunch of them, just as a memento of a time of a time past. Holy shit, you're from Massachusetts. Kurt Cobain stopped the hairspray. Gracie Gypsy, I'd like to believe so. We'll attribute it to the Montreal Accords, but in all fairness, I know my hair stopped being spiked as soon as I heard that first fucking lick of Floyd the Barber. Okay, as soon as I heard fucking bleach, I went, yep, no more hairspray from me. That's enough. Tacos are folded. He folds. Ooh, plain spoken Jane. That was a very plain spoken fact you just laid out. He folds. Trump always chickens out is a taco because tacos are folded. Brilliant. Taco bitch. That's what he is. An old bitch taco. I'd love to go to the White House. The White House. I'd love to go to the White House cafeteria and go, do you have the Trump special? And they said, what? I said, a folded bitch taco. Please, White House, let me in your press corps just for one day. Just for one day. I will give you anything, man. I just want to go and ask a question to this absolute bullfrog of a human. I just want I just want to ask her one question. Please, God, let me go to the White House press corps. I'll do anything. I would do anything. By the way, I haven't got to follow up on this. Jake Paul, if you don't know, is Logan Paul's little brother. He should be fucking, taken out back and Christy gnomed. But I want to follow up on what his bit is, because again, in the year of our Lord 2026, MAGA is bringing back blackface. So when you go, oh, MAGA's not racist, they're the most racist. Like, they didn't even skip a beat. They went from fucking 1930 to 2026 like that. They were like, oh yeah, we're bringing back the good old days. And everybody thought like good old days meant like a single earner economy. And they were like, no, we're doing blackface. Like, this is a real thing. And this motherfucker, and there will be people out there that'll be like, tell me how that's racist, like the fucking nerd said yesterday in my chat. What about whiteface? And I went, oh, you're too stupid. We have to mute you. there's no hope for some. There's no hope for some. And I stay consistent in that belief. I stay consistent in it. Hold on, what's this? Before, I'm gonna wrap up in a minute. I love everybody. I'm so glad everybody's here. But my back is fucking killing me right now. I'm so sorry. Work has got my back hurting, and they take all my money. United Healthcare takes all of my paycheck from my work, so I can't afford to go to the doctor. So my back just continues to get worse until at one point I'm going to be incapacitated. So if you could share this live with your friends, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. The only time I'm comfortable is when I'm this far back in a chair. And I can keep my arms crossed if you see me doing that a lot. It just quells the shoulder pain. But anyways, enough about me, guys. One of the most successful deceptions of our time was getting many Americans to fear diversity more than racism, equality more than misogyny, democracy more than fascism, immigrants more than authoritarians, the poor more than the corrupt billionaires, and empathy more than cruelty. Words to live by right here. This is what I talked about since birth. Since birth, Americans have been naturalized into this fucking process. You are not born this way. Ooh, that's a good Lady Gaga song. That's a good Lady Gaga song. My back. My God, I got your back. That's a good Lady Gaga song. I don't think I can play it. I really want to hear it though. Yeah, yipsum ba, skiddly bop, doo da, ska ba, diddly ba. Oh, you know what? That's what I should do. I should start a ska band where we only cover Lady Gaga. I'm sorry. I've been up since 4. Just please tolerate me. Are there any ska Lady Gaga? No, there's no, wait, Lady Gaga applause. Ska cover by the Holophonics. Come on, man. Somebody's covering Lady Gaga. Oh my God, this is fucking amazing. I'm going to play this one. This is Bad Romance.
Just write it down and paper and throw it. That's the best way.
Just so you know, this is so amazing to me. I love seeing ska bands do covers of shit. Yes, get it. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. Oh, these guys are kind of. Listen, I'll tell you something though. I mean, they got a bass, they got a guitarist, and a drummer. But who is this? Mike Beebe? 3 subscribers. Go subscribe to Mike Beebe. Jesus Christ. 13 years ago. I guess I'm late to the bus. I think he's probably quit YouTube. But Mike, you're missing a horn section, bro. I play the saxophone. You need a You're not covering Lady Gaga as ska without a saxophone. I hate to break it to you. I don't think my back could take it right now. I could get my saxophone out and maybe try to play along. I just need what fucking what scale are you in? What are you playing this in, bro? I could do it. Oh, god damn. That was good enough for me. Walk like an Egyptian was not punk. What? Maybe it was. When were the Bengals punk? Oh god, you're not gonna do this to me, are you? Goddamn Bengals and fucking. I was just talking about I was just talking about the Bengals and goddamn, what's her name? Manic Monday. What's her name? Susanna Hoffs. I didn't even need to look it up. I was just talking about them yesterday. Just another Manic Monday. Why was I talking about Manic Monday? I was talking about the about how fucking art is even reflecting, how. Oh, that's what it was. The other day, that's why I brought up Susanna Hoffs and the Bengals and Manic Monday, because this guy was like, you should work. He was talking about how much he loves having jobs. And I was like, bro, are you fucking crazy? Tell me one piece of art where it's like dedicated to their love of work. And I said, even the Bengals, even Susanna Hoffs, which I think she was a little punk. She had a little punk edge to her, Susanna Hoffs. I mean, in that like mom jeans style of punk, like she wanted to feel a part of the scene. I don't know. We can dive into that later. The philosophy behind. Maybe I should do a video essay on why Susanna Hoffs was mom jeans style punk. The fuck are you guys doing to me? But I was talking about Manic Monday because I was like, in no piece of art is it like an ode to their job. I'm like, even fucking the Bengals was like, it's just another 6 o'clock already. Gotta boot a better boot down. Hold on, what is it? Manic Monday lyrics. 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal stream. I can't be late because then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days where you wish your bed was already made. It's just another Manic Monday. Wish it were Sunday because that's my fun day. Even the fucking Bengals were like, and the Bengals, I'm pretty sure were like all Nepo babies. They were all fucking LA Nepo babies who just got to be in garage bands until they got famous enough. But Susanna Hoffs were good. Like, they wrote some good songs. Nothing against the Bengals. But it's not like, this wasn't life experience. They just heard about how bad jobs sucked. And again, I'm guessing, I don't know. I didn't watch VH1's Behind the Music on the Bengals, okay? But even the Bengals, who I'm pretty sure were all pretty well off from my loose recollection. I could totally be wrong. Somebody just correct me if I'm wrong. And my apologies to the Bengals if you guys were like hardworking fucking non-aristocrats. I'm very sorry. But even the Bengals, someone as non-punk as the Bengals were fucking, praying that it was Sunday again. And people are in my chat like, oh man, you just got to get more jobs. And it's like, nobody fucking in their right mind is like, yeah, I just want to work. Let me give you an old Haitian proverb real quick so you can understand. I got to keep it simple for these people. If work were good for you, the rich would leave none of it for the poor, okay? That's how this works. Why do you think they're hoarding all the money in the water? Trying to think of the worst concert I've seen. Later, Gracie Gypsy. I get a wrap up too. Best band is Lorna Shore. Ooh, how do I not know that? Wow, you saw Linkin Park 6 times? Metallica is shit. I don't like Mom Jeans Punk. Mom Jeans Punk. Well, pseudo punk. We could just, we started talking about the Iran deal, and we just veered way the fuck. This is how easily I'm distracted, and this is why Hassan will never have me on his live stream, because I'm gonna deteriorate his phone. Because I can go from I can go from talking about news to how Susanna Haas was kind of Mom Jean's punk of the day. She was wearing the acid washed, man. You know, she was trying to fit into the scene while she was singing about Manic Mondays and kissing Valentino. Oh my god. GS Tattoo says, I love the pedos in charge and I will defend them with my life. Actually, I have a clip. GS Tattoo wants me to play Todd Blanche as a grown man with a humiliation fetish. If you don't know who Todd Blanche is, he's Donald Trump's criminal lawyer, and he really's got an embarrassment thing. So he was on C-SPAN the other day broadcasting this to the world. If you don't think Russia and China and Iran and fucking all these other countries were watching this and hysterically laughing at America and what sycophants, even North Korea fucking entered the chat and they were like, God, what a psycho. Here's Todd Blanche talking about Donald Trump.
Working for President Trump, it's the greatest honor of a lifetime. And if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So
I'm sorry. Do you know any grown men who would go on camera and be like, yeah, if he decided to fire me and said go somewhere else, I would say, thank you, sir, I love you. This is, I don't know, 100-year-old man? I can't tell. You know, evil doesn't really age, so I'm guessing he's between 6,000 and 7,000 years old. This is America in the year of our Lord 2026, where the head cop, the interim head of the Department of Justice, literally just said, if he fired me and asked me to go somewhere else, I would say, thank you, sir, I love you. Okay.
and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir.
I'm pretty sure you're disqualified from having the job when you're like, if he fired me, I would say, thank you, sir, I love you. I love you. I can still smell you on my coat from that one time we hugged. You know? Look, what the fuck is wrong with America? How did the alpha bro universe think this shit is fucking cool, man? God damn, they got cucked hard. A very weak man. Zionists have no morals against lying about their naysayers. I would just say they don't have morals, you know? If they feel the wind is blowing, they're like, oh, well, let's go that way. And I would say, thank you, sir. I love you for that. I love you. I love you. It's so funny because, you know, this was on a live feed right to wherever Donald Trump was. And he was just like watching it like, excellent, excellent. And he was watching it with no pants on while he was just shitting himself saying, Carolyn, come and clean it up. Excellent, excellent. I just can't, like, how do I not have a press pass? You know, like, how do I not get to ask him? That should be illegal. Like, I should be there and be like, what else would you say? What if he said he hated you? Would you thank him and love him? Would you? This is starting to sound like an abusive relationship. I need you to blink twice if you're in trouble, Todd. Todd, does he have compromising information on you? Because you sound like a compromised man. Oh. Please, dear God, I know you're not listening to any of us down here. The Pope told us all, even though I don't believe in popes, none of them, even the deep dish Pope. But dear God, if you could magically give me a press pass so I could just go ask some of these farts a couple of questions, just for shits and giggles. I mean, I don't give a fuck what happens to me after. I just want to make the news once. Good God. Who the fuck just said Kid Rock has some pretty good music? Let me show you what Kid Rock's busy doing, okay? Well, you think he's got good music. He's out there with your taxpayer money, saluting like a fucking proud boy to the Israeli compromised military. Here's Kid Rock. That's your tax dollars being wasted saluting a fucking tool. How is that? Meeting Maynard? Who met Maynard? I know some of them met Maynard. They were not happy. We're not happy. I wish Afro Man wasn't MAGA and anti-trans. Afro Man is MAGA and anti-trans? No, come on. I did not know that. Is that for real? I'm gonna have to dive into that. I did not know that. I figured anybody who's anti-cop can't be pro-MAGA, but I don't know. This is America. People are all fucking messed up. All right, guys. Yes, about Afroman. Really? Oh, there's a lot of people saying that. Oh man. Then fuck Afro Man. Let me be the first to say, as soon as I found out about that, fuck you, Afro Man. Go suck a dick, dude. Tried to play at MAGA events? Oh shit. I didn't know. I didn't really follow the Afro Man saga besides like making those cops cry with which I thought was hilarious. You know, anytime you see a cop crying because they got called fat or something, like, you know, that's always funny to me. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the one thing I'll accept. If Afro Man's an absolute fucking turd, but he makes a cop cry, I'll still laugh. You know what I mean? Like, I'll laugh at the cop crying. Not that Afro Man did it. Is everybody clear on that? Like, fuck Afro Man. Fuck you. Go suck a dick. Maybe fall down a well. You know, maybe go ask baby Jessica which well she found that fell down, and then, you know, fall down that forever. Stop making music. But goddamn, I'll never root for the cops. You know, this is a tough spin up. That's one of those toss ups where you go, can they both lose? You know, that's one of those things where you go, you kind of want to lose here. So yeah, fuck him then. I didn't know that, and thank you for waking me up. Having your own opinions is cool. Fitting your opinions to fit is lame. That is true. But just so you know, my opinions don't change. Here's the thing. Just so you're aware, my opinion, well, they're not so much opinions as they are ordained by the good Lord Jesus Christ. He says, love everybody. Okay? And hate the fucking capitalist oppressors. It's in the secret book of the Bible. Read the books of Enoch and the fucking secret little Timmy Gospels or shit. You got to read in between the lines, because Jesus is like, love everybody, but then he sends these subtle messages, like when he chased those capitalists out of the church, and he started whipping them and calling them a den of thieves. And then when he said, woe to the hypocrites, to the people who had power at the time, and he was like, you are whitewashed fucking tombs. You're whitewashed coffins. You're empty on the outside, but you look all nice and shiny on the inside. And you tell people how to represent themselves, but you yourselves are rotten. So what I like to think is when people present themselves as for the people, but then it turns out that they're really not because their intentions and their actions don't match their words, then my opinions haven't changed, but they've been exposed as a fraud. So my opinions stay fucking very constant. You know, I like people that support the people, that do not support oppressive, tyrannical regimes like these absolute shit twads. And when I get new information, my opinions have not changed. I've received new information that I was unaware of before. Okay? So my opinions stay steadfast. And if you're going to work for the oppressor, if you're going to usher in this new age of tyrannical fascism, it doesn't matter to me if you're white or black. I mean, you should fucking read your history and just understand that there were many, many people at the time that thought that they had a good position within the enslaved people and were not going to try and help, you know? This is why many, many people, so just so you know, my daughter did many reports for her entire fucking life. Everything I have Harriet Tubman, just if you're wondering, above my desk. That is the only fucking hero I have above my desk. Harriet fucking Tubman. Because at the time there were many enslaved people that told her, you're fucking nuts. Do not. If you make it there, do not come back. And we don't know you. And my daughter did all of her school reports on Harriet Tubman. She's a well respected, and I don't even know the right fucking word outside of respect, because I don't want to say worship, but she is a well-regarded individual in this household, and we know most of her fucking history and everything that was recorded. In fact, our one vacation we wanted to plan many years ago was to Harriet Tubman's home in upstate New York. And even at those times, there were people that would work against her. But nonetheless, Harriet Tubman, after freeing herself, returned back into slavery or into the enslaved fucking region of America to rescue people over 100 times. 100 times, knowing full well that she had a bounty on her head and her life was at risk. So my opinions don't change, and the people fucking just expose themselves as who they are. And then with that new information, my opinions have stayed steadfast, and I can just say, you don't fucking fit my fucking opinions. And that's all it is. If you're wondering. Because again, you know, it's one of those things where these people, and this is what we can, but this is why I think a lot of old people get tricked by the internet, because these people can present this fucking heroic fucking, I gotta find the meme of it. There's a great meme where it shows the media camera focused on, you know, something happening. And in the screen, it looks like, oh, that's very bad, or it's very good, right? You know, in the screen, there's a great like cartoon of it. But then outside of that, you see the full picture and it's fucking warped and demented. And it's such a great, great image or meme. We have been lied to for generations, Evidently, they must like Kid Rock. Well, remember, you know, they're doing it on our tax dollars, so it doesn't even matter if they like Kid Rock. I'm pretty sure there's no military fucking operation happening in Tennessee, and Tennessee doesn't really need to be protected from anything. So this was just a leisurely stroll, burning fucking gas while it's at its most expensive in the past 10 years, and fucking just doing it on our tax dollars. So I don't even think it's about liking Kid Rock. They were just like, hey, you want to go drive those taxpayer funded things and just go fuck around and go do some nods to some guy who has a sign right above him in a different picture I had. It says White House South. You know, like these people are that fucking psychotic. We were talking about music, had changed the subject from hate to subtle, but we had to go back to politics. Everything's political, Glenn. That's the thing I try to teach people, man. Nothing is art. Thank you. All art is political. Thank you, Dusty. Thank you, Dusty. All art is political. This is what I was talking about Manic Monday, the Bengals. They were writing about not wanting to fucking have to get to work late because they won't get paid. You know what I mean? That's as American as shit, you know? Everything. You just don't realize it, you know? Every art created is a fucking time capsule of the political fucking moment at the time. Go listen to what the fuck is it? Pete Seeger's Nuremberg, or good God, what is the Vietnam Fortunate Son. Go listen to Fortunate Son. Okay? Everyone remember Dolly Parton's unpolitical song 9 to 5? Lemony Fresh, that was the other one I just mentioned before. Don't hate on people if they like shitty music. I know all the words to an old Kid Rock song. Who doesn't know all the words to a Kid Rock song? You know? We're not hating on him, we're just breaking balls, you know. Didn't they fly over a No Kings rally first? Oh yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think you're right. The great threat to America, people saying no kings. Oh, the irony. The irony is never lost on me. Music is political, art is political, being alive is political. Yep. Good art might be horrible for society. Art we view as morally righteous now is demonic last century. As the art that was hey, what's up, Alma? Jimi Hendrix all along the Watchtower. I have a great bunch of Pink Floyd artwork. Even the band didn't know existed. It's priceless, I think. Oh, that's so cool. Can you share it in the Discord? Because I was just if you don't know, the Dark Side of the Rainbow is on YouTube. If you've never done this before, it's just worth it. Because I would it's just a marvel. And if you don't know what Dark Side of the Rainbow is, that's when you line up Dark Side of the Moon with the Wizard of Oz, and you hit play on both, and they align. The movie and the album align, and it's so eerie and so cool, and so it's psychedelic, man. But it's somebody did it on YouTube and uploaded it. That's crazy. I was fucking talking about that earlier. Oh yeah, we used to have a guy, we called him the guy, and he knew how to get some Northern Lights and White Widow up in New Hampshire, or no, Vermont. And when we used to go to meet the guy at his apartment, he would always have on the Pink Floyd live laser show on his TV. And he'd always be like, man, I just set up this new surround sound. I remember we were in high school. So this was like, you know, thinking back, I'm like, shit was not, this was like a movie. And he'd be like, I just set up this surround sound, man. You guys want to chill for a little bit, watch some Pink Floyd live? And we'd be like, I don't know, man. He'd be like, come on, man. You know? And then he would cuff out some, and we'd be like, all right, if you're feeling it, you know, we'll hang for a little bit. Pink Floyd is a trip, man. And it's so weird because yesterday I was reintroducing my son to Pink Floyd because when he was little, he was obsessed with Pink Floyd. And then, you know, he got a little older, so I was putting it back on for him, and you could just see him start to, you know, start to appreciate the depth of that. The old man did all the Tokyo tour artwork. Oh, wow, Dylan, that's fucking rad, man. Make sure you know, save that. I would get photos, you know what I mean? Like preserve. If you have a piece of history, preserve that. Yeah, the mushrooms are dope. The psilocybin, that's a natural medicine. Northern Lights twice. Everything I heard about. The elusive for me was I have family out in Maui, and I got to Maui Wowie, and that was like, god damn. That was like, you know, you had to be careful. Anyways. Oh my god. Frankie Jack Hare. Oh my god. Don't panic, it's organic. Oh yeah, you'll be panicking. It's a life changer, man. All right, guys. I gotta go. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Pink Floyd The Wall. I'm telling you guys, if Golden Ticket, I haven't even heard of that. Only speed for me. God, there's too much going on in the chat. I'm trying to so that's what I was gonna say. If you get a moment later, look on YouTube for Dark Side of the Rainbow and enjoy, folks. If you've never watched Wizard of Oz with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, just enjoy. It's an old legend that was true. And thank God we live in a day and age where you don't have to queue up the fucking, you know, the CD with the DVD player and be like, all right, you hit play. Oh, fuck, we fucked it up, you know? So I'm just telling you guys, you'll enjoy it. Even if you just watch like the first, well, this is the thing. You can't watch the first 5 minutes because as soon as you see how the album aligns with the movie, you're like, I gotta fucking see this through. That's what I did the first time I watched it. I was like, there's no goddamn way. There's just no way. God, I wish we had a way. I wish I had this set up where we could watch it together. Because I'm telling you, man, it's an event. It's an event. Granddaddy Perp. Oh, Dark Side of the Rainbow. That's it. Granddaddy Perp. I remember that one. Oh my god, what's up, Doof Bay Boof? That's a funny name. Let's do it. Listen, I gotta get big enough, man. I gotta get this thing big enough where I can do that, where I can have it set up. So please share this with friends, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, all those great things. Once we get big enough, that will be one of the things. And I wonder if I can just not monetize it and YouTube will let me do it. I don't know. I'll look into it because I would really love to do that. Just have a Dark Side of the Rainbow viewing event. Or maybe I could do it on like a Patreon. I wonder if that's like a separate thing where I don't have to use this as a medium. We could do it as like a separate thing so we could just get. How many subs I got? Like 13,200 or something. But we got to get bigger. Sabbath. Whew, Sabbath's got some good ones. Fair use. I'll look into it because that's something I would love. There are things I would love to do on this channel like Hassan does. That's why I like watching these cats that have like the pro setup and can bring shit up. I'm working, I'm working on a shoestring, but I'm working on the American budget right now. Yeah, you need 10 times that. I agree. I would say 100 times, but I like that too. Yes, we need to get, once we hit that will be our 100K. I'll get the silver play, but this is what we'll do. At my 100K celebration, come back, mark the date, whatever date, 4/8, in the year of our Lord 2026. Once we get to 100K, I'll have the pro setup. I'll see if Bunkbed Coffin can play live, Smoking Blondie can play some stuff. But then we'll watch Dark Side of the Rainbow, and we'll give away my play button. Because I don't want it. I want to get it so I can give it to somebody. I want to give it to somebody with like 4 subscribers and be like, I hope you put this up in the background. Okay, I'll sub. Ooh, awesome. So that's the 100K thing. All right, Smoking Blondie's down. And we'll fly Sardion in. And me and you will get some chairs that my back won't hurt. And oh my God, if my back's hurting by then, we're fucked. We're fucked. Actually, no, you don't want to come to America. Maybe Sardion, can I stay at your place and we'll do it live from the Netherlands? Sardion, you do not want to come to America. And you know what? To think about it, I might not even make it out of America with some of the shit I say. I might get detained in an airport. That would be hilarious. Oh my God. Acupuncture. I used to do acupuncture. I can't afford it anymore, but yes, acupuncture was amazing. It took away my migraines. And they did the acupuncture where they did it in your ears. I had a great fucking dude for acupuncture. Oh my God. They won't let me come. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Smoke a Blondie. Like none of us are actually going to be able to leave. We're trapped in here. They've kettled us in. We're gonna have to go underground for this one. Cushion with the tailbone cut out. Have the hand held to Spanish glutes. Yeah, after this I gotta go do a bunch of stuff, but I just can't wait to lay down. Tax cattle. That's all we have. Don't come to the US. It will take a few years after this is over to clean this up. I would say, yeah, it's gonna take a few more years. What's up, Greg Lion Productions? How are you today? Hopefully your day is going well and you're not a victim to the capitalist overseers. Oh God. All right, guys. I love you. Be good, be kind to one each other, always speak out, stand up against tyrants and especially bullies, but always keep yourself safe. Rob, always turn your kid on to some good music. Evidently, you know what good music is. Don't let them forget about the good. Oh, listen, that was so okay. I never talk about my personal life because there's too many fucking monsters. When I had people like trying to, I don't even want to get into it. But yesterday, the reason I was going through music with my son is because he's got such a funny, good taste in music. But he goes, we got to do, I forget what he called it. He said we got to do like a PowerPoint on our favorite artist. And I know his favorite artist. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I know it. And I go, you can't play that. I was like, bro, it's all curse words. I was like, I let you listen to that. Like your mom doesn't even like me letting you listen to it. But my thing is like, if it's art, and so is my wife too. She's like, if it's art, it's okay. But she's momming him, and that's okay. But whenever we get in the car, I let him throw it on. I don't give a shit because I think it's funny, and I think it's I think it's good for kids to understand what satire and comedy is. It's like my mom; she raised me on George Carlin, so I have no qualms. But I was like, bro, but he's not a true artist, And I was like, when you were little, when he was a real little baby, we would be in the car somewhere, and I would throw on Queen, right? And Queen is that's magic music, man. Like even when they came out, that was like unheard of, right? And it wasn't just like Bohemian Rhapsody or We Will Rock You, but like what's the song? I want to be free. I want to be free. Do 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 do. You know that song? He used to love that. And then there's a couple like not the big Queen hits, right? And he would jump from the backseat into the front and crank it all the way up. And I'd be like, bro, you can't fucking do that. But he was like 2. So I started playing the Queen hits for him. And I knew I got him when the little man was like, I was just skipping through him. I was like, remember this? Remember this? Remember this? And he's in the back seat. He was like, go back to that one. And I was like, yeah. And then we went into Pink Floyd because he used to love Another Brick in the Wall. Because I was like, you should. I was such a bad parent. Because I was like, you used to love this song and you hear the lyrics, right? We don't need no education. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. And he's in the back jamming. And I'm like, you should tell them this is your favorite artist and then force them to listen to this song in your elementary school. Yeah, Jethro Tull, that's awesome. God knows. I think that was another one. Oh, and Bicycle. Yes, crazy little thing called I Want to Ride My Bicycle, and God knows. Freddie's so fucking amazing, man. I like to ride my bicycle. But it was just so funny because I was like trying to skew him back to his OG days when he was just a babe and get him to listen to a little more rebellious music. And I was like, and I was a full on sales pitch for some Pink Floyd to go into his elementary school. Fucking, I was hardcore trying to pitch him on a we don't need no education instead of the other thing which had just swears. And I was like, this one is clean. You can play the lyrics. You can put them on a poster board. I was like, I can help you. Oh my God. That's so funny. I learned to type to Pink Floyd in keyboard class. Ah, you're my age. I had one of those. Oh, unfortunately, I got punished first day of fucking typing class because somebody, it was not me, hit the fucking print screen a bunch of times and it went back to my computer. So they made me sit out and I had to write the goddamn dictionary all semester. I was so pissed. This is why still to this day, like I'm fucking half inbred when I'm trying to type. And I'll never forget because that dumb bitch of a teacher was like, who keeps printing their screen? And I didn't even know there was a print screen button. And she fucking blamed me. And I had to write from the beginning of the fucking dictionary out every fucking word and definition. And everybody else was doing typing. And I was like, oh, God damn you. I hated school. No homeroom. No homeroom for me. No. Oh no. I didn't even learn to fucking type. I taught myself eventually. One time in the land of chimpanzees, I was a monkey, but thanks to my veins, and I become a junkie. Yo, I like back too. I used to copy from the dictionary a lot. Yeah, I was not doing it by choice though. No, plain spoken Jane. My vocab. Actually, you know what I did do though to try to get back to him at one of my detentions. I wrote this fucking like 4-page essay of how I did not deserve the detention, and I used very big language, and I was very proud of myself because I was like, I fucking lit this one up. And when I handed it in, the detention teacher corrected all the words I used wrong and gave it back to me and basically called me an idiot. So I've been sparring with fucking authorities since I was very young. And this is where you got to learn it, man. That's so funny. Oh, the old $5 words. Yeah, but I've lived too long and done too much stuff to keep any of those. Actually, no, I still have some of them. Because I said raconteur the other day and somebody went, Rack a what? But I just love that word because of its definition. There's some words that stick with me. But my wife would tell you that, I'm part moron. What? Raconteur. It's somebody who likes to talk. Of course I love that word. What's up, Tennessee Blacksmith? How you been? Keep using words. Words matter. Keep reading for the spelling definition. Oh my God, I read it all the time. Of course. Thank you, Heather Black. That's a good message. Keep using words. They matter. And reading is amazing. I'll tell you, God damn. I'm not gonna go reach over my books. Actually, that's what I want to go do. If you want to read a great book, one of the 4 I have going right now, 4 or 6. No. Yeah, 6. If you're interested in the shaman way, go check out Carlos Castanella's The Yaqui Way. It's an amazing book about this dude who studies under a shaman or a brujo, and they take peyote to figure out if he's the one, and it's nuts. It's absolutely bananas, but it's such a fascinating read. So The Yaqui Way, Carlos Castanella. I'm okay. I had a seizure yesterday morning. Oh man, it's horrible to hear. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you get to check in. We found out you're okay. You know, because unity and community, man. And hopefully you stay safe. I don't know if you know the cause of the seizure, but hopefully, and don't share, if you don't want it. But I know CBD is amazing for that stuff. There's a Charlotte's Web in uh in Colorado. Sorry, my fucking shoulder is killing me. In Colorado, that this little girl was having seizures. I don't know what her illness was, but as soon as she was taking the Charlotte's Web CBD, they stopped right away. So just throwing it out there. His real life is wild. Looking into Carlos Castaneda. Yeah, his real life is wild. Absolutely bananas. And his books are just so great. If you ever read any of the was it Into the Night? The like the fictional Jim Morrison books, they remind me of that, because those are like just bananas. I love those. Humanity's Red Ball. Hello. Yeah, seizures are terrifying, man. Terrifying. Terrifying. So I'm glad you're safe. And I'm glad you got to stop by. All right, but I am wrapping it up, man. Oh God, I gotta go well, I can't go lay down, but I gotta go lay down a little bit. Oh shit. Sorry. I'm with you on that because you're right. Little girls having seizures, they derived it. Yeah. Well, Glenn, the guys it was three brothers that created Charlotte's Web, and at the time, right after they had created it, I was working on developing my own CBD strain, and this was a couple decades ago. Uh, so I reached out to them and I was like, "Hey, man, would you send me a couple of those seeds?" Because I had like a little network of people that we would share seeds with and stuff, and unity and community. And their motherfucking people were like, "No, it's prepare pro- copyright or some shit. I forget what they called it, proprietary property. They called it some stuff." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You went fucking capitalist with fucking CBD?" And then they were like, "You can go to our shop and buy the oil." And I was like, "Oh, god damn, man, you're ruining the weed game, you know?" And I've never been so disappointed in somebody that did something for such a good cause. You know what I mean? Like to heal that little girl and stop her seizures, Charlotte, that little girl. Um, I've never been so put off by fucking such heroes. So 65 watching, 120 likes, 119 likes. That's what I see. I don't know. The numbers are all fucked up. Sharing is caring. That's right. Capitalism does ruin everything, man. And this was fuck a year ago or something. Pretty sure you're an absolute goat. So here, oh, I appreciate you, man. El Chancio. Oh, you've been in here before. I appreciate you. Yeah, the green root is everything because like I would share seeds. I was there's a Harlequin strain of CBD which I was working real hard on to fucking finesse it down. You know what I mean? To almost basically entirely fucking root out any kind of THC. And I whatever, don't get mad at me. But I was working with this hemp grower who's in a different state, and I was trying to breed these things. And I'm talking about paintbrush. If you know anything about fucking breeding plants, like paintbrushing the pollen and collecting pollen, and I had pollen frozen, like real fucking into it. You know what I mean? Like this was art form for me. I was trying to start not a company, but you know what I mean? Like I was trying to develop something for the world. And fuck, man, I was so mad at those guys. I was real fucking turned off because that Charlotte's Web strand, I've still never tried it to this day, and I refuse to ever give them any money. But um, from what I know, it works wonders. It was written about like legend. Um, Yeah, thank you, El Chancio. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. I'm sorry, my back is killing me so much. The pain is starting to fucking go down the spine. So, know a girl who treated her seizures with a keto diet. Really? That's interesting. I used to get Harlequin, but not hemp. Yeah, because the Harlequin, god damn, now you're really making me rack my memory. It's a special strain of the Harlequin. That was a very high. There was another one too. I had connections in California, so I had special connections where I could get, you know, and I had some connections in Spain. I had connections all over the fucking place. But the thing is they're all going to have semblances of THC. But the beautiful thing is if you can get your hands on some true hemp, and there are hemp growers in America, if you can get your hands on that, and then you find the right looking plants, and whatever, it takes a while. I'm doing this for a long time, man. I was doing this for a long time. Well, listen, when I tell you I served in the drug war on the winning side, that's not a joke. I did my time, man. Methylcarbonyl muscle relaxer? What is that? Oh my God, sizzle. My wife said the same thing, and then somebody at work said this. I gotta find a heating pad. I just have a rub on it right now, but it's totally worn off. So now I'm starting to like really be in pain. My own stuff is an art. It's total an art to it. In fact, I used to have, before I was doing this, I had a whole social media channel on that. On that. Every specific strain got a certain way it hit. Yeah. And you can finesse it to be that way. That's what I mean. The greatest, I'll tell you this, the greatest, so in my service, in my time serving, the greatest thing I got was Bob Marley's favorite strain. Where the fuck did I get it? Oh, I can't remember who gave it to me. It was real hard to get, and it was an authentic lamb's bread from Jamaica. And I grew that, and that's still to my day. Nothing. I couldn't speak higher about. I couldn't speak higher about it. Lamb's bread, but it has to be the real shit. Not this fucking capitalist. They're selling it at the corner store. This is, the thing. I forget where I got it from too. I could not tell you for the life of me. Through one of my connections, and it was absolutely fucking amazing. Check out the book called Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood by Christopher Moore. Oh, cool. Thank you. I would love to read something like that. I have all these different books on stuff like that. One's called The Day Christ Died. The other one's like the 12 something. And then if you've read like the Book of Enoch or the Urantia, I love those kind of books. He wanted to be a blacksmith since he was 5. Yes, he's self-taught. Every drugstore. Yeah, I know, but Sizzle, I can't no money. I got no money, man. I was saying, like, I think there's one of my daughters had one somewhere, and I don't know if they took it when they moved out or if they left it here with the little ones or what. And I'm just too exhausted to find it. Oh, God. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go and rest. Hold on, I gotta stand up for a minute. Holy shit! Oh my God! Oh my God! All right. Oh fuck! Jesus Christ! All right, guys. All right, so hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Good to see all the people who strolled in late. I'm glad we got to spend a little time. El Chancio, thank you for the super chat, man. I'm supported by only you guys. No billionaire money, no fucking corporate money, none of this greed money. I'm supported by you guys. Hey, what's up, Neon Monkey? It's good to see you too. God damn. See, sometimes I just like seeing familiar faces. What's up, Cindy Lou Who? How you doing? But I'm wrapping up, so I'll meet you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. And I don't really have a time, but you know what I mean. Afternoon, we'll cover the fucking. You're in Rhode Island? Awesome. You ever go down to Newport and tour the fucking mansions and put in the little earbuds and do the audio tour? I used to love doing that. Newport's such a trippy town. It's such a cool little area. Oh, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Oh, there we go, plain spoken Jane. That's like DMX. He says that at the beginning of what's his song? Love DMX. Thank you, Neon Monkey. All right, Sardion, I appreciate you, man. I know it's late where you're at, and all my people across the pond, all my pixies, all my gypsies, all my comrades, all my members. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Much love.